Hey everybody, this is Mike from Edge Note 50 TV talking about boxing. Hey, I'm gonna hey to I'm also gonna pay hey to the chat, EJ Boxing Live, hey Boxing and Blunts. I'm gonna send the link to you guys, yeah? One moment. One moment, guys. Okay. Let me just send the link out. Shit, how am I gonna do this? Okay. Boom, 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 boom. All right. God, should have been more organized with this thing. Just did this last second, like normal. Let me. All right. All right, but starting now. So everybody's watching this. If you're the first time you're watching this, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification button so you can watch the show every time it comes on. Also hit the like button if you like the show. We got a lot to talk about. You know, lots of boxing happening this weekend. As you can see by the heading, you got Kovolev's win, big win. You got Cheeseman. What happened? You know, what's going on with Cheeseman? You got Eddie Hearn under pressure from all sides, under pressure from DAZN, under pressure from Match from Sky, you know, under pressure from his own pups. You know, he's sweating a lot this weekend. You know, and also, you know, the big argument with Dillian White, what's going on? There's so much stuff we're going to be talking about today. Unbelievable. Let me see if this guys has got my link to go into the chat or not. There's a couple of people that are looking to come on, so I'm gonna wait for these guys to come on before we get cracking. Let me just have a look. Let's have a look. One moment, guys. Okay. Yep, so guys, I sent the link so you guys can jump on whenever, yeah? All right. Oh. Okay. Oh no. Flipping hell. Sent the link and it's all coming down. So now I haven't got no flipping video. What's going on? Oh my god. Let's have a look and see if it's working. It's just stopped working. All right, I haven't got no video, so it's not working at the moment. You know, technology problems happening at the moment. All right, so look, I'm gonna get cracking. So you got Kovolev's big win, Cheeseman and Eddie Hearn. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start talking about Kovolev. Let's talk about Kovolev and Elder Alvarez. So let's talk about the background and behind of it. So what happened was you got Elder Alvarez won by KO the first fight, and then obviously they had a rematch. Now the question was, going into this fight is Kovolev has enough? He's 35 years of age, so he's going up there in age. Does he have enough to come back and win, or is Elder Alvarez, the younger guy, but to honestly, he's younger, but he's only like a year younger, but is Alvarez going to be able to recapture, you know, be able to retain the belt that he won the first time? That was the question. Now in the preview show, I said that Alvarez was going to win because I thought that Kovolev didn't have it. You know, he didn't have it anymore. I didn't think, you know, he lost to Ward. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Who's jumped on? Hey, EJ Boxing. Hey, Boxing. Was it Boxing? Hey, Boxing and Blunts is on, and EJ Boxing is on. So, hey guys, how you guys doing?
All right, man. How you doing, Edge?
Yeah, it's good, man. Good, man. I was just literally, when you guys jumped on, just talking about Kovolev and Elder Alvarez. So, you know, I was talking about I picked. Who did you guys pick first off?
I had Alvarez by knockout.
So what about
I put Alvarez to win on points.
So all of us need to be eating some crow because I think it's a hat trick. We all picked Alvarez.
Yep.
I mean, like, what was your guys' opinions of the fight?
You go first, mate.
I was shocked. I was shocked. Like, I don't know why I'm shocked, because like it's not as if Kovolev wasn't capable of doing that. I just didn't think he had it. But it proved most people wrong. That's for sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
He
what
seems to work well. He's changed coach as well. I didn't know he'd actually changed trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he got a new coach. I think what's happened is he got a new coach, and I think that he was more focused and more determined. I think he wanted to prove a lot of people wrong. I think. EJ, what do you think?
He hasn't finished. I don't think he's finished talking. He was still saying.
To be honest, after that last fight, I didn't expect him to come back out. I thought Kovolev might have just called it a day. So the fact that he came out, I thought he's maybe just in it for the money. A couple of bottles of cheap vodka, see himself into the sunset. But he's back. He's not gone away. He's going to at least going to defend it, and he's at least going to have one more fight. So it was good. It was a good night's boxing. I liked it.
All right. What about you, EJ?
Yeah, man. My night started off like terrible. First and foremost, yeah. I done the hangout my own self, and for some reason, Aleda Alvarez's people struck my channel down, and I'm protesting it right now. Like, I'll put petition. That's the first thing. Woke up in the morning like everyone, thinking I'm gonna see a knockout or maybe I'll see on points, and I see Kovolev just school him, and you know what? I was looking, and I was like, oh, wow, like he looked like a complete different fighter. He changed like this boxing has pointed out, changed his trainer, Buddy McGurk. And Buddy McGurk has done that before when he had Arturo Gatti. Arturo Gatti was right on the edge. He lost to Oscar De La Hoya, and he looked like he was finished. And he took him, and he had epic wars with Mickey Ward, and he went on to win the world title against Lucas Branco. And yeah, like, you know, and that's what you see he's done with Kovolev. He's going into the Hall of Fame as yeah. Hey, congratulations to Buddy McGurk going into the Hall of Fame as a 2-weight champion, and now he's got Sergio Kovolev. Got a good team around him. He looked beautiful. It looked, man. He looked well. Basically, Buddy McGurk just basically said, "Look, this is what you need to do against this guy," and this is what he did. And Serkov listened, and that was it. You know, none of the distractions, nothing. He boxed beautifully and won the fight hands down. He won it clean, effectively, and you know that's what Kovolev can do, regardless of all the stuff outside the ring, which I don't really agree with, and how I judge him. But when he can come to the table like that. He's definitely one of the best in the world, and he reestablished himself as one of the best in the world. But we want to see him against Bivol, all them other guys we want to see him against all them other light heavyweights. But he definitely one of the top guys, one of the best stand-up performance, and a great comeback. You know what I mean? See what Aleda Alvarez does, but he was stunned. He was like, who's this guy? And you know what I mean? It's just like it was a great display of boxing, and look forward to see what both of them do in the future.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, you know, like, look, he was winning the first fight until he got hit, and I think the difference is with this fight, he made sure he didn't get hit, like with the same shot. And I think that his movement was great. I think that what I'm losing my voice here, and what happened was the jab. The jab was he was very effective with the jab, and he measured his distance very, very well. When Elder Alvarez wasn't good with his distance, that's one thing I noticed about him. You know, like when Alvarez was trying to hit him, then like Kovolev was just away enough, so he wasn't able to hit him. But then when he went and jabbed Elder Alvarez, he didn't measure his distance enough, and that's why he was getting caught a lot with jabs. And also as well, one thing was good was that his combinations. He was hitting 1-2s, 1-2s, 1-2-3s, and Elder Alvarez I don't think he was shocked. I just think he didn't know what to do. He wasn't expecting this kind of Kovolev to come out, you know. I think he assumed that this fight was going to be easier than the first fight. And he was thinking, okay, I'll wait until round 6, round 7, and then I'm going to get him again like last time. But the difference is he was losing pretty much every round. And you can tell, like, the guys were speaking to him, the corner was speaking to him in Spanish, but you don't need no translator to know what that guy was saying. He was like, man, you got to get a move on, you know. So yeah, like I wouldn't say I was shocked, but I didn't expect it. I expected Alvarez to win, so we was all wrong. I don't know.
Now TV just jumped in, and who's the other guy that's jumped in? Battle just jumped in.
Battle and Lotta, yeah. Hey, Battle. Hey, Battle. How's it going? It's got a new logo going on. Hey, what do you guys think of Kovalev and Alvarez?
Yeah, man. You know, I thought Alvarez was gonna win by knockout too. You know, but the third problem is like just like you and Egypt were alluding to, you know, it seemed like Alvarez felt like pretty much the same thing was gonna happen. So he was just looking for one shot, and as he was looking for that one shot, he was steadily getting outboxed. And you know, like Egypt was talking about, credit to Buddy McGirt, man. I think he really he brought a lot of the boxing acumen out of Kovalev that was kind of, I think, there but untapped. You know, Kovolev has shown little bits and pieces of that ability to box in certain fights, but he's never necessarily had that one complete performance where he completely put it all together. I mean, somewhat against Bernard Hopkins, but at the end of the day, you know, that was kind of an older Hopkins that he was able to out hustle. But I mean, the jab was percolating; it was really working well. The foot movement and everything was doing well. You know, he was keeping himself just out of range and then stepping in range in order to land his own shots. Alvarez did catch him a couple of times and hurt him a couple of times, but it almost seemed like he would just completely let off the gas. Like it almost like either he didn't recognize that Kovalev was hurt, or maybe it was just a matter of his own stamina. Like maybe he wasn't able to really like just unleash hell on him and try and actually finish the job on the couple of occasions where it seemed like he momentarily stunned Kovalev. Because Kovalev would, you know, recover and then get right back to you know, continuously just outworking and outboxing Alvarez. And, you know, Alvarez just ran at the time really fast, threw very few punches, like had very little sense of urgency. And it's almost like he reverted to what the biggest criticism of him that I've personally had the last several years, where it's like he's so one pace and he's kind of fighting the same way. It's like there's no sense of urgency about him. There's no change of pace. There's no like change up of the action of what he's doing. He's just gonna pretty much continuously do the same thing. And if a knockout comes, it comes. But if not, he's not necessarily gonna go searching for it. And you know, that's what ultimately led to us getting well outpointed. You know, I thought it was a little bit closer than I think a lot of people had it. I thought it was 8-4 for Kovalev, but I mean, regardless of that, I mean, it was just a matter of he banked so many rounds early on that Alvarez was going to have to play catch up or start scoring knockdowns or a knockout, and he didn't even provide that. So that's just the way it was.
And that was the thing. Like for me, like I think that in the later rounds, Kovalev knew that the only way that he was going to lose this was that if Alvarez was going to go for the knockout, and I think because he knew that Alvarez was probably going to go for the knockout, he was more prepared. Whereas in the first fight, he was unprepared for that. Whereas then he was more prepared. So when you know that they're going to try and knock you out, you can prepare better and you can do certain moves to make sure it doesn't happen. So that's
right. He was a lot more clever this fight. Like the first fight, it almost seemed like he was trying to get back something that he felt like he lost, and with Ward and like it's like his head was in a weird place. So it's like he was trying to score a knockout, but then he was leaving himself open, and then he wasn't properly adjusting defensively to that, and it just all went awry. But I think he put everything together really nicely yesterday. And, you know, I think he's really live against the other guys at light heavyweight now at this point, you know, the way that he looked yesterday. You know, so I want to see those fights, man. Beterbiev, Bivol, and Brown, you know, all those are good fights, especially Beterbiev, man. I've been looking forward to that one.
Vacic as well. Vacic as well. I don't know what Vacic is.
Vacic.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, like I don't know, I'll put something up anyway saying like, what of the champions would you like to see him fight next?
I personally want to see Beterbiev, man. Like he hasn't lost to him as an amateur. He needs to visit as a pro. I personally feel like he's been ducking that fight for a few years, and you know I want to see that happen, man. I want to see that fight happen. That's bombs away.
You think that who's been ducking? Beterbiev's been ducking or Kovalev's been ducking?
No, Kovalev has.
Both of them.
I think Kovolev has, and I think Beterbiev was cut. Like I think not necessarily chasing it outright, simply because of the fact that he was trying to get that shot with Stevenson, you know, previous to now.
Well,
but he was kind of playing second fiddle with Ivan Michel and Jim promotions. Up
well, let me put it this way: they both been ducking, but it's not vice versa. Kovalev has kind of been ducking Beterbiev. Beterbiev has been kind of ducking Joe Smith, and then Beterbiev kind of been ducking Bivol. So let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would like to see, you know, Bivol. I think, you know, I think that Kovalev, even though it was a good performance, I feel like that performance would not scare Bivol, and I think Bivol will feel like he had a good chance against him, based on that performance. because even though he was a much better performance last time, he still get caught a few times, and I think that Bivol's younger, faster, and I think that he would. And this is a good time to get Kovalev right now if I was Bivol. So I think I would like to see that fight.
Yeah.
And it'll be kind of be like a passing of the torch fight as well. You know, so passing on the torch for the younger guy.
Yeah. The thing about Bivol though is I do think that he's a better technical boxer than Kovalev, but he doesn't have the same physicality as Kovalev. So there's a certain level of danger in there with trading with Kovalev. But I think if Sergey gets a little bit too in love with some of these skills, he might find himself getting out jabbed by Bivol.
Yeah, and that's this is why I think it's very intriguing. I think a younger Kovalev will beat a younger Bivol, but I think that this guy's 35 years of age, and he did what he had to do to beat Elder Alvarez. He managed the fight well, but against Bivol, I think Bivol's a similar kind of fighter, not as good, not as mature, but I think that the youth side of it, that's where the advantage will come in the later rounds. I think Bivol will come on stronger more than Kovalev would, and that's why I think it'll be interesting. Berbatov, I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know, man. I think Berbatov is kind of dodging. He's been very dodgy since he's gone onto the zone. He's been very like, I don't want to fight this, I don't want to fight that. He's been very. Do you know what I mean? I don't know about that guy. If he really wants to fight any of the other champions, I don't know. I mean, I'm getting that impression. Yeah. What do you guys? I don't know. What do you guys thinking about that?
Yeah, he's kind of ducking. It's weird. Like he barely does interviews, and then when he does, his promoters usually talking for him, and then he tries to make it seem like he's trying to get the best fights. But I understand he got injured. He was out for like almost like 2 years. But when he came back, I think he took like a whole another year off after he fought a bum, and then came back and fought Callum Smith. What was it? Callum Smith, Callum Johnson. Callum Johnson,
Callum
and then
Johnson,
Callum Johnson, and then as soon as he won that fight, it was like Beterbiev is going to sign to fight Bivol, and I was excited. I was like, okay, cool. And then once again, Beterbiev pulled out fight or something like that. It's crazy. Like, no, I'm sorry, the fight wasn't signed. It just said it was probably rumored to happen, like going to be like signed like that week or that month. But stuff keeps popping up with him, so you don't know where his head's at.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You just don't know where his head's at the moment. Like I think that we're going to talk about this soon, but obviously Eddie Hearn's under pressure to get certain fights done, and you got Berbatov, who's a champion who's not really looking to fight anyone or being any major fights. And I think end of the day, sooner or later he has to get in with one of them, and and I think the time is going to be 2019. I think if not, I mean, the other guy, the one that beat Stevenson, do you know what? I can't pronounce that guy's name, man. I keep it.
Vosdick.
Huh?
Vosdick.
I know it's Groschick.
No, it's Vosdick, man. You don't pronounce.
Yeah, Vosdick.
Oh, okay. I mean, that guy. I mean, he beat Stevenson, but I want to see him in another fight against one of the other guys to see how good he is. But I think there's going to be Marcus Brown next. But I mean, what do you think realistically Kovalev's next fight is going to be? What do you think realistically Kovalev's next fight is going to be?
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, he needs to stay away from Marcus Brown, bro. I heard what's his name again? Andy Yard is next in line, bro.
Yeah, well, number one and number two are Yard and Brown. So
yeah.
Might be done.
Yeah, he better stay with. Yeah, well, listen, Marcus, listen.
Hey, no, you know what? I know exactly who's next in line. I just looked at the WBO rankings. Number 4, Mike Subway Lee. Mike Subway Sandwiches Lee. Fucking I don't know if you guys remember him. A few years ago, Mike Lee was getting hella promoted on a bunch of these top ranked cards. I think he went to Notre Dame or something like that. So it's like he was like bringing like all these like weird like frat boys and stuff to the fights and all that stuff. But I mean, Mike Lee is garbage, man. And I don't know how the hell he got ranked so high. He hasn't fought anybody of note. He's not very good, and he used to be promoted by Top Rank. You know how Top Rank likes to do. They like to recycle their old fighters and stuff for as much money as possible. So that's what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna tice Mike Lee's, huh?
What kind of name is Subway?
No. He was on Subway commercials. He was on like he somehow got like some kind of deal with Subway with like the sandwich company Subway. But you know, in spite of the fact that he's never done anything of note in boxing, he was up there with like actual fucking NFL superstars and
Yeah, you're
NBA
probably
players,
right.
and, like high level tennis players and shit. And he'd never done anything of note. So yeah, Mike Lee is probably going to be next for Kovalev. Kovalev is going to spark that dude within probably the first 30 seconds of that fight, and then he'll fight one of those other guys afterwards.
Yeah. I mean,
He's right, bro.
Huh? I mean,
Yeah, he's right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he has like a little softy fight, then goes back into a hard one. But it depends, because Anthony Yard, he wants a world title shot in 2019. So out of the out of the 4 world champions right now, who would you say is the weakest link?
That's a hard one, you know, because the thing is, I think they all have certain weaknesses, but not so overtly that you could say that one is necessarily a weak link versus the others.
So if you was Anthony Yard's trainer or manager and he was going to guide him to a world title, then based on his attributes so far that you've seen from him, what avenue would you take him down?
But better beef.
I'd go after Beterbiev because of the fact that he's more defensively liable than the others. The only problem though is he's more offensively explosive than the other one. So that's a do or die fight.
Yeah,
so you either knock him out or you get knocked out. You know,
yeah,
I do think that he would have a better shot at actually hitting Beterbiev than the other guys.
I would say go after Kovalev because he actually has a chance of. Okay, this might sound very counterintuitive, but you actually just have a better chance of knocking out Kovolev for the simple fact that he has fought more rounds than Anthony Yard, but Anthony Yard getting in there with a slugfest with Beterbiev, I don't really know if that's a good idea. I think if he fought Kovolev, a good chance that if you can get inside and stay inside, you can get Kovolev really tired.
Yeah, no, that's a good point too. That's a good point too.
You can only fight Kovolev. You can't get a title fight against anybody else. Kovalev's his only option.
Why do you say that?
Give him a fight. And he's ranked for the WBO. He has to go that way. But
no, he's ranked to the IBF too.
I think they're going through the IBO route though. His trainer did say they're looking at the IBO route.
IBO.
Yeah,
IBO.
So I think not IBO, sorry, WBO route. Not IBO route, sorry. I think it's going through. Forget the IBO. Who that was that? Only Eddie Hearn loves the IBO. But anyway,
hey man, shit, Chris Eubank was IBO champ, man.
Yeah.
Lawrence Okoli. Did anybody see Lawrence Okoli's interview the other day where he said he's going to go for a title?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of title he's going for. I think it's the Commonwealth he's fighting, isn't he?
He wants to get the Commonwealth. Did he have it and he gave it up? He wants to get that back, but then he says he wants to either wants to fight for a fringe level world challenger or a IBO belt.
Oh, okay. That's just Eddie Hearn's promoting IBOs now all of a sudden. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, like, so anyways, Kovalev. In regards to any guys got anything else to say about Kovalev?
I think I slightly disagree with EJ on this one when I say that he just stay away from Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown has a lot of potential, and he's dangerous. But Kovalev has a nasty right hand, and I never seen Marcus Brown chin tested. So, I mean,
I've seen his chin tested. His chin isn't that great.
Well, I mean, against who?
What was that guy's name? Kalajic or whatever the hell his name was. He was freaking getting pinball all over the ring against that guy.
I thought he just had a bad night. That's what I thought.
He definitely had a bad night, but I mean, he was getting clipped and he was getting hurt repeatedly. I mean, I thought he won the fight. Yeah. I'm not like a lot of people that are like, oh, he got robbed, blah, 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 blah. You know, but I thought he didn't look very good in that fight.
Yeah, don't you just hate when people do that? When they just...
Hey, let me just jump in the chat 1 second. Look in the chat because Aobs is saying last show I heard someone say Alvarez was #1 at light heavy. Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Man, what is that?
Everyone on that show must have been high or something. I don't know what we was thinking. IBO ain't a real title. I know that. We have to tell Eddie Hearn that as well because he's trying to promote that because AJ's got it. But he's not. And then IBO only matter if it's held by other titles like Klitschko AJ. I said, no, the IBO still doesn't matter because IBO is not an official title. Eddie Hearn is trying to make it an official title to increase his negotiations with other heavyweights, but it's not. We don't rate it. So, you know, IBO, we can, you know, put that aside. That's with the diamond belt, with the silver belts, with the regular belts.
And honestly, like I like the IBO belts, like in theory, like with regards to the fact that they have computerized rankings and things like that. But it's just they don't have enough clout, and so the top fighters aren't fighting for those belts. So
Yeah.
it's just not, you can't rate it as highly as the other one.
It's too many belts enough as it is. I mean, if you
Yeah.
add that belt, that's like
IBO,
5.
unfortunately, is like almost like an intercontinental belt. It's like, you know, you're kind of a you're a French contender belt, you know.
Yeah, it's like a,
Don't we have like
exactly. Huh?
Don't we have like 77 champions right now?
Probably,
Yeah.
like, you know, if you class every weight
That's about
class
right.
4 belt holders, then yeah, you probably would have like a lot of
Yeah.
belt holders.
That's what, 16 divisions times 4. So,
Eh,
yeah.
So you guys got anything else you guys want to say about Kovolev? Any final words on that before we move to the Cheeseman?
Hey. Well, he had a fantastic comeback, and props to him.
Mhm.
And hey, man, you know, get those court cases taken care of, and see these other fights. Man.
AA boxing, we got the things to say.
I hope he brings it his own range of vodka. That's what I'm aiming for.
Oh, I couldn't hear you. What was that?
I hope he brings it his own range of vodka.
Yeah. I don't know. He's on his Twitter. He's partying already. He's already partying already. EJ, you got last words? No? Okay. Battle, you already said your last words, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sergey is still ranked number 5. Alita Alvarez is still on number 1, so they may have time to update it.
Yeah.
As far as Ring TV.
Oh yeah, they don't usually do it like automatically. It'll take a day or two for them.
Yeah. They'll update the rankings probably in the week. All right, so let's go to Cheeseman. I'm not gonna go through the whole card because it wasn't that great. It was just like most of the fights was like 1 or 2 to 5 rounds. So I'm gonna talk about the main event, which was Cheeseman. Also, we're gonna talk about Eddie Hearn as well because he's been some altercations. But first off, I don't know if you guys in the States saw the Cheeseman and Garcia fight. Did you guys see it?
I did.
You
I
did.
did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, God, man. Where do we start with this? We have an issue with I'm gonna over exaggerate. It's over exaggeration, but I think we have an issue with UK boxing at the moment with these fighters that coming in and they just move forward, no head movement, and think they're gonna bulldoze these fights down. You know, I just don't know. Like, I just feel like, you know, they don't watch tape. They don't watch tape of this fighter. They just assumed that he was not good, and he just went in there, thought he was going to be a walkover, and he got outclassed for the whole fight.
Yeah. They're trying to win off of fitness, trying to win off of stamina, endurance.
Yeah.
Walk you down, and when you're tired, knock you out.
I can never understand what people's like mindset when they do that, because like if you've seen like it's just one of those things, like when you watch certain divisions where people just tower over people like the heavyweights or the cruiserweights, and you just see like fighter after fighter just doing the same game plan. They know they're shorter, and the only game plan they have is to move forward, my hands up, and apparently just hope for the best. But this wasn't even a case where the guy was taller than me. So it's weird. Like,
one second. So I want to address one guy in the chat. Free Fights TV asking if this is a call-in. No, this is not a call. This is not a call-in show. However, in 2019, this is something that I'm going to be working on doing call-ins. I'm working on that as we speak. So in the future, I will be doing call-ins via Skype. So watch this space. I'm going to post it on my social media once it's available, so you guys will be aware. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on, carry on.
Free Fights TV. That's at 11 years.
Huh?
what was that?
Free Fights TV.
Free Fights TV. Yeah, they was asking if this is a call-in, so I just addressing him, just letting him know that we are going to start doing.
He's an 11-year-old American boy. He's crazy.
Oh, okay. I don't know who he is, but I just
That's
All
that's
right.
Battle Hill's
Hey,
favorite.
I don't think. Hey, Free Fights. I don't think you're crazy. You're
Like,
welcome. Everyone's welcome.
why y'all keep thinking I have a billion accounts? Free Fights TV? That doesn't even sound like me.
No, I said that's your favorite channel. I didn't say that was you.
Yeah.
I know
Free
who Free
Fights
Fight
TV.
is. I talked to him. I talked to the kid.
Yeah. Anyways,
Oh.
back to Cheeseman. Yeah. Like I don't know, man. I was very disappointed in the guy. He didn't have a plan B. He tried to do a plan B midway through. His boxing, I don't think he's got a very good boxing IQ. I don't know if people say he's 23 years of age, but I don't know if he's gonna be world-class level or if he's just gonna be domestic level. I didn't see enough from him. And the Garcia guy, he outclassed him, but Garcia, I wasn't impressed with Garcia. Maybe because Cheeseman was so bad that Garcia didn't have to do too much, and he didn't look as good as a result. But what did you guys think? I don't know. I was just disappointed. I was watching this.
I was somewhat impressed with Garcia. I mean, especially just based off of his work rate. He was definitely in very good shape. He kept that work rate high, kept that jab moving. The movement was on point, and I mean, he just made Cheeseman look like an absolute fucking fool in there. He's I guess he's managed by Sergio Martinez, and I guess Martinez must have like some say in his training camp and everything, because he looked like a Sergio Martinez fighter. He looked like somebody that Martinez would take on as a client or whatever, because he was fighting in a relatively similar manner. High output, sticking behind the jab, sticking and moving. And he never got tired, man. He had a very high endurance base, and he was just beating the shit out of Cheeseman, man. He was hitting him with all kinds of punches, really good punch variety. There wasn't a ton of power on his shots, so I guess that's the one thing you could really criticize in particular. And in the very beginning, the first couple of rounds, he didn't look like he was really like solidly like planted on his feet. He didn't look like he necessarily had that confidence. But once it got about to round 4 or 5, he was in a groove, and he was just making Cheeseman look ridiculous. Cheeseman's face was completely massacred at the end of the fight. It looked like his nose was broken, his eyes were busted up, all kinds of stuff. And Cheeseman, you could tell that. I guess he probably has a certain level of natural talent where it's like he was thinking that boxing was just going to be easy and this and that, and he gone in there and he got found out because Garcia had the technical aspects of boxing worked out, and he just technically completely outclassed him. Cheeseman got smacked up. He's a young guy, so I mean, if he can go back to the drawing board, humble himself, and start actually learning the finer points of boxing, he might be able to do something at some point in the future. Maybe not even on the world level, but at least maybe like fringe contender level. But Garcia looks like somebody that, if he continues to develop, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say he's world champion material, but he might be one of these guys that gives a lot of trouble to the top level guys, just because of, he's solid within his own style. He's really, really good jab, just good punch variety, high stamina, a little bit open on occasion. But I mean, some of the shots that Cheeseman landed, he landed some pretty solid shots here and there, and Garcia never really appeared flustered by him. So. He might have a really good chin on him, and if he does, then that makes him even that much more difficult to defeat at the top level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So battle AA. What? AA. Boxing.
Disaster.
What do you think?
That's a disaster for him. But 23-year-old, I don't think he should be headlining no 2 at that age. These belts they win as well, because he was a WBA continental belt holder, so he's automatically ranked by the WBA. Like Cheeseman was top 15 in the WBA. That's no good. But Garcia's been about for a good few years on the world stage. Like 2 years ago, he won the WBC silver belt, but he's never pushed on, which makes me think there might be something. Maybe he's no world level. Maybe he knows he's low.
Yeah.
Maybe getting a fight against Cheeseman at the right time paid a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, I agree, because I wasn't impressed with Garcia either, because Cheeseman was just so poor in there. I just thought, like, he had no head. He was trying to move he had his guard down, trying to move his head. He was getting hit. Garcia was doing just enough. He was very fit and healthy, but I don't think he looked fit and healthy because he didn't have to do much. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't like, he was walking. Cheeseman was walking him down, but he wasn't closing the ring off. He was just. He wasn't closing.
When Cheeseman won the British belt, and when Cheeseman's been fighting and knocking people over, when he comes forward, he's thrown. But when you come forward and use your face as your guard, then that's different. He didn't throw punches usually. If you watch Cheeseman's last couple of fights, when he comes forward, he'll come forward and he'll throw punches, but he was just coming forward and getting punched. If he'd let his hands go a lot earlier, maybe like the first round, the second round, maybe he would have had a better chance. But by the time it got to the fourth round, the amount of punches he took, he was exhausted.
And that one, I think that was what it was. I think in the first 6 rounds, he was getting pulverized in his face. He's using, like what you said, he was blocking shots with his face, and he was getting pulverized. And then later on, he started doing combinations. By then, it was too late. It was tired. That's why I think that Garcia, I don't know if Garcia's even world level. I mean, I think it would be Garcia's one of those fighters who will get to world level fight, but then he'll just lose. Like, he will face a Charlo and then lose. Do you know what I mean? He'll face a Munguia and lose. Or he'll face a Jared Hearn and he'll lose. He won't be the kind of fighter that I don't think he can beat those guys anytime soon. And Cheeseman talking about, oh, I fight Munguia. Like, look, man, he has to calm himself down. Slow your roll, calm down, and like, don't even mention these guys' names, because I don't think he'll be fighting Munguia anytime soon. Let's put it that way. Huh?
Like, he'll no fight Fowler now, he'll not get that fight, but Fowler would have beat Cheeseman.
Probably.
I think Fowler would maul Cheeseman.
Fowler's got more punch variety than Cheeseman has, and I think Fowler's got a better boxing IQ than what he has. Because like he's like, at least Fowler will look to switch something up. He will try something. It might not work, but at least he will try something different. Whereas he was, if the coach didn't tell him switch it up, he would have fought the same way the whole 12 rounds. Do you know what I mean? It's
but
like,
there's another fight as well that Lawrence Okoli, he should be fighting. There's a European belt. It's held by the Belgium who trains with Dominic Ingle. And Dominic Ingle's trying to get that fight, and Lawrence Okoli will not take that fight. Because if you fight against somebody who can box, and you're not a good boxer, a boxer will beat you. I think that's a lot of, especially when you're an amateur, as soon as you get close, the ref shouts break and you step off. So you only have a long game, you only have a game of throwing a punch. You don't know how to defend, all you know how to do is jab, 1, 2. That's all you do. And when you turn off, you can only do that at area level. Once you step up, you need to be able to box, you need to be able to move, you need to have fitness, and you get found out. And I think a lot of boxers will get found out now.
And I think this is the problem. It happened with Lewis Ritson as well. Lewis Ritson, he's fighting again soon as well. But like, they need to kind of learn, when you get to that world level, you can't just keep on just moving forward and trying to bulldoze opponents. You have to have a different way of fighting. You have to have a little bit more variety when you're facing the elite guys. And Cheeseman, I think he just needs to. His coach is what? Was it Sims? Is it the Sims? Same one that coaches Dillian White.
That was I think everybody on that card, apart from Lawrence Okoli, was Sims trained last night, I think.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Sims should know better. I don't know. Like, man, like he coaches Dillian White, doesn't he? I mean, he does the jab. Like Cheeseman wasn't doing jabs at all the whole fight. He was just lunging. He goes forward. As soon as he gets close, he just lunges. It's like very telegraphed. So I don't know. He needs to get a coach. I don't think Sims is working on him. It's one of those ones where Cheeseman is probably like the 6th fighter in his stable, and he gets someone else to train him because he's not getting trained by him properly. That's why I think what's happened. The same thing happened with M.A. Khan and Freddie Roach, when Freddie Roach was focusing on Manny Pacquiao rather than M.A. Khan, and that's how he lost the Garcia fight. And I think it's the same thing. I think he needs to get a coach or trainer that's going to work on him and only him, and he needs to start from scratch. Clear the table. Start from scratch, learn how to do the jabs, learn how to do combinations. He could have went to the body, then went up to the, he do different kinds of movements. That's what he needed to do. But anyways, I don't want to be talking about, Cheeseman too long, because I was just disappointed in that guy. Like, he's going to fight for a British title next. And, it's a UK fight. That's why I'm talking about it, because, it's on Sky Sports and everything. So we have to keep it, domestic. You guys want to talk about Lawrence Okoli? Or should we go straight to the Eddie Hearn problems?
Alonso caught. They would even need to give him any limelight.
Hey, look, he got a win over somebody that he should have beat, but he's facing Camacho. So, but yeah, look, I wasn't really happy with the whole card, anyways. And Cheeseman he just disappointed me. You know, he just disappointed me. So, and the scoring as well, the scorecards. What happened there? Did they scored it? What was it? 15-14? Did they? One judge.
One judge had it 115, 114. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell was he scoring? Like, seriously, the judging issues.
Can I ask everybody a question here, right? See when you talk to a professional boxer and you ask the person what they do for a living. See if a boxer tells you that they get punched in the face for a living, they're an idiot. See if a boxer tells you that they punch people in the face for a living, then they're actually clever. And I think that referee, I think he liked Cheeseman's style. I think that was because.
Yeah, but like I was talking about this a few weeks ago, and I was thinking, do you know what? When like it's like refereeing, it's like football or soccer, but it's like before you get in, each of them have the same criteria of how you score a fight, right? You know, and so technically it should be roughly the same. Like when you got two scorecards, which is one way, another one which is completely the opposite, then it's like. Then you're looking at it thinking, was you reading the same instructions that I was reading?
It's because it's 3 minutes. You have to break it up as 3 minutes. So who did best in the 3 minutes? So you can think that somebody landed a couple of good jabs, or they landed 2 jabs and a good body shot, which to you was a nice shot. So you can give somebody around just based on that punch.
Yeah, but I understand. You know, obviously there's rounds here or there, but they went completely opposite way. They made it was nearly a draw. They made it nearly a draw. Like, where was the draws coming from? He was getting outclassed. It was the most one-sided fight I've ever seen. I just can't see how he could have made it nearly a draw. 1 round to Cheeseman, and it would have been a draw.
If Cheeseman had knocked him down twice, he would have won that fight.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's just I just don't know. Like I'm gonna look into this referee, and I'm gonna do a separate show about this referees in general. Like not a live show, just gonna do like a show, just post stuff.
Who was he an Italian? Somebody said he was an Italian.
I don't know.
I didn't catch who he was. I wouldn't be shocked. Was it the same guy who had done the Parker fight against Joshua?
It's the same guy that did the Killer and Triple G fight. That's what they're passing him around. But yeah, anyways, that's enough about Cheeseman and all that. Yeah, like I gave it airtime, but yeah, he needs to go back to the drawing board and start training and learn how to box properly.
You can't leave that gym though.
Yeah,
that's a Matchroom gym, isn't it? Matchroom own that gym.
I'm not sure if they own it or not, but I like
EJ might know. EJ's Sim's gym, the Matchroom gym. He only trains Matchroom fighters as well, didn't he? He refuses fighters from the Matchroom. You have to be the Matchroom to fight in his gym as well. So I think Cheeseman, he needs to stay there to guarantee himself to be relative.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then he just needs to kind of work on a plan of how to move forward and go to Eddie Hearn and say, look, I need to get some training so I can get me back to where I need to be if I want to go in world level. But that's down to Cheeseman for him to discuss with Eddie Hearn and stuff. But yeah, you know, he just needs to learn the fundamentals and work on his boxing ring generalship, basically. But yeah, anyways, let's move on to the next one. Eddie Hearn, under pressure. Dillian Whyte, backstage beef. You guys have probably seen the video. But I don't know if you guys saw the video. Did you see the video of Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte arguing backstage?
I've seen a few of them. There's a couple. There's one with Barry Hearn as well.
Yeah, like, do you know what? When I was watching it, I saw it last night. It's for my FL TV. If you guys don't know, but I'm gonna post it up tomorrow morning. Only a little bit of it, but like, I thought it was cringe. I was looking and I thought that is just cringe. Like, I was cringing when I was looking at it, and it made me think, do you know what? Now I understand why these negotiations needs to be kept private. Do you know what I mean?
But there's nothing new. See when Dillian White was in America, he gave an interview with a woman called Helen Yee. Go find her channel, Helen Yee.
Yeah.
And he gave the interview and he said, I said to Eddie Hearn back in September, let's negotiate for the Joshua deal just now. When Eddie Hearn was saying, let's sign a deal with Wilder, even if Wilder, if he beats Fury, then the fight can go ahead, but we can sign a deal before he fights and all that. And White says, I was saying to Eddie Hearn, let me sign a contract so if any fight falls through, we can go straight in. I want a 20-week VADA drug test, and AJ wouldn't sign it. And that's all he asked for in September, and they never heard anything back from him. So you can't leave it till 11 weeks before the fight and then turn around and say, we'll offer you this. You can't do that, man. That's when the guy, see if the guy's like, you don't know him and he lives in a different country, but he's literally talking to Dillian White 3 times a week. He's got his number. He could be phoning Dillian White months ago and setting that deal up. So if any deal fell through, he could guarantee that date at Wembley. And they never done it. And they figures, did you see the figures? £5 million. Dillian White said, I accept the £5 million, but he has to take, if I beat him, I want the lion's share in the rematch. And he wouldn't accept it. Then they came back with a different offer and it was 50-50. And it valued at 15 million. So they value Dillian White versus AJ as a £30 million fight. So he was getting 1/6 in the first fight and he'll get half in the second fight if he beats him. So that's 20 million, 2 fights. If he wins, if he beats AJ, he makes 20 million for 2 fights.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, this is a very complicated situation because how I see it is that, you know, people accuse Eddie Hearn of a lot of things. They were like, oh, he doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. We all know he's gonna fight Dillian White. We all know that was the plan. And, you know, let's not pretend. Back then, that's what everyone was saying. Everyone was saying that he's not gonna fight Deontay Wilder. He's gonna fight Dillian White in April in Wembley. That's what everyone thought it was gonna be. I thought that was what was gonna happen, but it didn't turn out that way. So people that were thinking, oh, Eddie Hearn was doing this and this and this, sneaking around. Well, that's not the case. And I think that part of it has got to do with AJ. AJ don't really want to fight Dillian White. He doesn't want to fight Dillian White. He wants to fight Deontay Wilder. And he wants to, and I think he wants to fight Deontay Wilder, whether he said it, because whether he wins or loses, he wants Deontay Wilder. Reason being, because out of the top heavyweights right now, Deontay Wilder is the easiest heavyweight. He's the easiest one.
No, but do you know, fight Dillian White? Even if Dillian White accepted that £5 million offer, right? By the time he actually gets that in his bank, the taxman's took 40%. He's got 3 million. Then does he have to pay Eddie after that? Which is what percent? Then you have to pay your trainers and that. Dillian White would have walked away with just over £2 million for a stadium fight against AJ on pay-per-view, which to him he thinks to himself, is that worth it? Now, it sounds a lot of money, but is it really worth it? Is that really a lot of money?
Yeah, but then, like, at the same time, I'm looking at it from a point of view of, like, you know, at the same time, I'm looking at it from a point of view of, you know, you're fighting for a world heavyweight championship. It's a voluntary defense. AJ don't really have to fight you, and you're pricing yourself out. Do you know what I mean? But then at the same time, Dillian White said, fine, I'll accept whatever money you're giving me, but if I win, I want it to be switched. But then they didn't do that. They said they offered 50-50 in the rematch. So now I'm like, well, what? That doesn't make no sense. But then,
again, when Dillian White fought against Chisora, right? That done 430,000 pay-per-view buys at 20 quid, which is £8.6 million plus a full arena, plus they sold it to Showtime. That's a £10 million fight, right? And Dillian White says his purse was £2 million for that. So he probably walked away with about £1 million for that. So he could fight another two back-to-back pay-per-view fights against anybody, do 400,000 buys and make the same money he would get fighting AJ. So realistically, Dillian White knows that he can fight 2 fights, wait on the Mando to come round, go back. He can demand a percentage and he can tell them no rematch. If I beat you, you don't get a rematch, and then I'll have the belts and I'll give you 10% as a voluntary. That's what he wants to do. So Dillian, fight AJ, get £2 million in your bank, or fight a pay-per-view. and get £1 million in your bank and then wait for the Mando shot. You're going to do it. There'll be 11 weeks to go. You're not even going to have a full training camp to fight AJ.
Yeah, but then that doesn't make no sense then, because like he said, I don't want to fight AJ on April the 13th because let's have a look at the chat. Yeah, Aobs is saying 20 mil for 2 fights. I don't see the problem. White is a voluntary. He says I never wanted the White fight, so I'm glad it's not happening. And he's saying White is not equal like Fury or Wilder. He's not getting a good deal. I say, look, yeah, number one is right. Like Dillian White, the thing, this is the problem. Dillian White, he's been on 2 pay-per-views, and now his head is a little bit bloated a little bit. He's got a little bit of an ego now. You can hear the differences now about how he's talking. He's talking like Anthony Joshua now. Dillian White is turning into Anthony Joshua now. Huh?
See his pay-per-views, Dillian, right, see when Dillian White fought against AJ in the first pay-per-view they had together, right?
Yeah.
Then after that, AJ fought against Martin.
Yeah.
The numbers he done against Martin for a world title fight, Dillian White's done that fighting against somebody who's an old world champion. So Dillian White's looking at that and thinking the pay-per-view numbers AJ did at the beginning as a champion was 450, 500, and then he fought Klitschko and it was massive. And then it came back down. So he's still doing numbers that are half of what AJ does in a regular, and he's not got a world title. So he's not sitting in a bad place.
I mean, Dillian White is in a good position right now because he doesn't have to fight AJ. He can continue doing pay-per-views and earning decent amount of money. But the problem I have with Dillian White is that number one, he said, April the 13th is too soon for me to fight, for me to prepare and get ready. But then now he's saying he wants to fight on April the 20th. It's a week later. So why you can't say you're not ready to fight AJ and then all of a sudden you're ready to fight now for April the 20th. It's either you was ready or you're not ready. Like, why are you saying you're ready now, but then you wasn't ready when AJ was coming in offering you money? That's why I'm a little bit like about. And then number two, like, why is money so important all of a sudden? Why is being world heavyweight champion of the world, unified with the belts, not important anymore? Why are these fighters so caring so much about money these days? Because
we're the idiots who are putting £30 million in the pot. If we're going to put £30 million in the pot, the 2 people who are fighting for it, both of them are going to want 50-50 because they're going to say both of us are earning it. Then you have to negotiate who gets what. It's different. If nobody's buying it, then they can't demand it. But if you're going to put £30 million in the pot, of course they're going to demand it. That's how football. A football player can ask for 500 grand a week at a football club because the football club's got 30 million to dish out. But if you go to a club that's only making 200 quid a week, you can't ask for that.
Yeah, I mean,
stop buying pay-per-view, and then the fighters can't argue on money.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing though. Like, okay, fair enough. You know what? But it's saying you can put it in a football analogy or soccer analogy or any sport analogy you want, yeah. And you can put it like this. Okay, boxing is big business in the UK right now. You're earning a lot of money. But what is the goal? What is the goal for you to get into boxing? Is it to make lots of money, or is it to become a world champion? What is the ambition? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it gets to the point where, okay, I've earned a lot of money. Dillian White has earned a lot of money now. He's earned 2 million. He's getting over 2 million per fight. I think out of all the heavyweights right now, he's probably the 4th highest paid heavyweight right now. The 4th highest paid heavyweight right now in the division. So it gets to the point of where do I want to end up? What's my goal? My goal is to become world champion. So someone's offering you 3 of the 4 belts. They're offering you your highest payday. So people can say, oh, 5 million is not enough. But let's look at it this way. If you're looking at it from, let's play devil's advocate. I'm AJ's manager, or I'm Eddie Hearn right now. I'm looking at it like this. I'm trying to negotiate with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury for a fight. I've already sent offers to Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So then, if Dillian White is coming in saying, wait a minute, I should be on Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury's level, I want the same money. Or I want near that money. So then if I'm AJ and I go, okay, I'll give you that money then if he's negotiating with Wilder down the line, he has to end up paying those guys even more money. Because what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at, wait a minute, you paid Dillian White $9 million or whatever. I'm a champion. I've been a former world champion. I want more. So that's gonna potentially put AJ in a worse position negotiating wise.
Oh, big time, Will. Let's think back. Only a few months ago, AJ was offering 12 million flat to somebody who had a belt. Now he's offering £5 million to somebody who's got nothing. So the tables turned big time. Eddie Hearn's already said if Wilder or Fury, whoever wins that fights AJ, they can expect a 50-50. No,
yeah,
you're already gearing up 50-50 before you enter negotiations. That's stupid. That's just.
Yeah, but there's a twist.
Understand why you do it.
There's a twist to the Wilder and Fury fight. There's a twist to the Wilder and Fury fight, which I didn't think about, but someone brung up, which is a very, very good point. I saw an interview with Barry Hearn, and he said the first fight was a draw. They had a two-way rematch. Because it was a draw, they could get out of it. But WBC ordered the rematch, so they have to negotiate. So what's happened is Deontay Wilder's negotiated with Tyson Fury. Part of that contract is going to be a rematch clause, which means that if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, that means there'll be a rematch, which means there'll be a third fight.
Aye, because there's no only a mandatory challenger can refuse for a rematch clause to be put in a fight.
Yeah, but he's not a mandatory challenger.
That's what I mean. So it gives them the option. There's going to be a rematch. There's going to be a rematch clause in the AJ fight against Muller as well. So everybody's going to hold everybody up.
Yeah, but I think that AJ is going to beat Miller. So I think that fight will be fine. But in regards to Wilder and Fury, I think that Fury is going to beat Wilder. And if that happens, there's going to be a third fight, which means it's going to delay everything even more. That means this year you could have two Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fights. And to be honest, whoever's on the chat, you can put in the chat, answer the question in the chat. Do you want to see 3 Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fights back to back? I don't. What about you?
Never happened. Edro, do you remember I sent you a clip ages ago with Shelley Finkel? It's called a mutual rematch clause. AJ had it against Klitschko. You have a year to invoke it. So see if Fury beats Wilder, Fury can then go and fight AJ as long as he gives Wilder a rematch within 12 months, or they activate the clause within 12 months. That's what the rematch clause is. It's called a mutual rematch clause. Shelley Finkel uses them. That's what it means. See, if I beat you, I can then go fight somebody else, but you still got a contract to fight me.
Yeah, but they're gonna want to do that straight away. They want to do that rematch straight away. So I don't think they want him to go and fight, because you can think about it for a second. Think about it for a second. Let's say Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder. He wins the belt. Then he's like, okay, fine, you can go and fight AJ now. He loses to AJ. Then that rematch ain't worth nothing because you're fighting for no belt.
But Showtime only. I don't know if Showtime will do 3 pay-per-views with him. They might push the second one, but if a third one comes along, I think they would want time off to do something else. I don't think they could promote it the same way. And could it end up in Britain? Well, if Tyson won it, I suppose it would come to Britain anyway, so we would soak it up. But yeah, there's a limit on how many times you could hold it in the same place.
I mean, at the end of the day, if this pay-per-view sells, let's say the rematch does 500 buys or 600,000 buys, or let's say does 1 million buys, they'll do a rematch straight away. No doubt. They'll do a rematch straight away. Wait a minute.
What were we talking about?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm in, mate. What are you talking about?
Okay. Oh, yeah, AJ. No, we're talking about, what was it? Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder rematch. So basically, what we're saying is that one thing I didn't realize, that I only realized recently, is that this fight, they're going to have a rematch clause in this fight, which means that if Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder, there's going to be a third fight.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
So the question is, do we really want to see another fight, a third fight?
Yeah, of course. See who the winner is.
No, but that's the whole point. You've already seen the winner.
Nah,
Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they fight. Tyson Fury beats Wilder cleanly. I don't know, cleanly or whatever happens, but then they're going to invoke the rematch.
Nah. If someone beats cleanly, then there's no point for a rematch. But it's the same thing with Manny Pacquiao and Marquez, isn't it? Like, there will still dispute. So if there's any dispute, it can. That's how boxing is, Edge. You know what I'm saying? Like, people rematch is more to do with money. Because at the end of the day, they're making names for themselves when that fight is epic. First fight was epic. They know they're going to get more money on the second one. And if they're still continuing and people like them, they'll see a third one. That's what used to happen in the 70s, in the 80s, like the Rocky movies. Ali had that many rematches, a trope that really called rubber match. That's what happens. I got no complaints against that. If Joshua and Klitschko, right, if Klitschko didn't get wiped out by Joshua, right, and it was close, then you'd want to see a rematch in it, and then you might want to see a third one. So I got no problem in a triple match. But most likely, it's probably should be conclusive in the rematch. You know what I mean? That's what I feel. So you won't have to worry about. I won't worry about the third one. We'll see what happens in it. It's gonna be a conclusive finish.
So what? You're convinced that Tyson Fury is gonna win clean victory?
That way around, bro. That way.
So what? You think Deontay Wilder's gonna cleanly knock out Fury?
I feel like it's gonna be conclusive either way, right? So if I go with let me just go with Wilder. Wilder goes getting outboxed by Fury, but Fury got leveled, yeah. So, but in any way, it should be more conclusive. That's what I'm hoping for. But if it isn't, I ain't got no problem with the rematch. That's what I'm saying.
So Obs is saying to you, I think EJ. So it's okay to waste time fighting each other than fighting for the undisputed belt.
Would you say boxing's waste of time?
No.
It's not a waste of fight. Put it this way: if you can get 50-50 in a fight that's worth more money, or 40% against a fight against AJ that's worth less money, you're going to take the most money.
No, but the thing is, they've already taken less money than what AJ offered to fight each other the first time.
AJ, where's AJ coming to this? We were talking about Fury and Wilder. Where's AJ coming into this? Huh?
No, because I don't know about any of you guys, but obviously, and the people probably watching this right now, they want to see one name, one face, one champion. That's what Deontay Wilder used to stand for. He used to stand for one name, one face.
He still does.
Somehow through this whole process, Deontay Wilder lost his way. He lost his way. You know, I don't know where in that path, the greed, the money, whatever it was, he lost his way. He's not one face, no one name no more. What's going on?
I seen AJ standing in the ring saying he wants to be undisputed champion. How many times? All the guy has to do is fucking tell Eddie Hearn to fuck off, get on the phone and make a deal. And he could have had that fight. He could have phoned Wilder and made that fight on the phone, but he didn't. Wilder could have phoned him and made it. They didn't.
Yeah, but listen to this though. Deontay Wilder in a recent interview, he said, "Oh, I could make AJ wait. I got enough fights lined up for 2 years.
Good.
I've got enough fights lined up for 2 years now.
Yeah,
so I don't need to fight AJ right now. That don't sound like a guy that's eager to be one face, one name, one champion."
Hold on. So when AJ said we can do it in 2020, you have got no problem. But Wilder says the same thing. Now you have a problem.
Nah. Why they never said the same thing? Right. Wilder said 2021. He's making it longer.
One more year than fucking AJ when it was last year. AJ's longer. AJ started the shit, right? AJ offered, said I'll take 50 mil. If they give me 50 mil, then I'll take the fight. What happened to that? And everyone knows the money was legit now. So don't.
Oh no!
Don't
tell Edge that. I sat up to the road trying to he doesn't listen. Let's talk about Dillian White and Eddie Hearn argument. Yeah.
Change the song. That's good for you.
No. We talk about this. Look. The Eddie Hearn. Let's talk about the Dillian White and Eddie Hearn argument. Did you guys see when Dillian White said, "Oh, I seen the 50 million. I saw it."
See?
Did you see what Eddie Hearn said? Eddie Hearn turned around and says, "I didn't say the money wasn't real. I just never seen the contract, except the offer to receive the contract." Somebody makes you an offer.
But Dillian White was messing with him. He was messing with him. Like, where was the 50 million? Was it on the table? What, he went
No,
there, he went to
all he
Espinosa
said-
and said, "Oh, here's the 50 million. Look, it's in my bag. Let me take out my bag." Like, do you know what I mean?
All he had to do was talk to Stephen Espinosa or talk to Showtime, and he would have asked that question. They would have brought that up in conversation. They want to plant that as far as they can. Right, so here's one for the edge note. Right, so Dillian White accepted Joshua's offer, but he rejected the terms because there was a term in there that he wouldn't agree to. That's the difference. See, when AJ got offered an offer, he rejected the offer. See, if he'd accepted the offer, then he would have seen the terms, which would have had BT in it, probably 100%. They would have made that a BT fight, and AJ couldn't have signed it. They just want to.
Yeah, but
That's what you want to do, is build the price up in a fight. That means that AJ now can't. You're saying AJ can't accept a fight. If somebody turns around and says, "Here's £100 million to fight on Showtime," AJ cannot take the fight. It makes him look stupid.
No, because that's what I'm saying to you is the terms. Like, it's no point putting an offer out to somebody if they know that they're going to turn it down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
then it's not. Then that's the whole point of it. It's like Dillian White.
12.5 to 15.
The first offer,
$2.5 million.
The first offer that Dillian White received, he turned it down straight. It's less than what he got for the Chisora fight. So that offer, really, it was like when someone asked him, he goes, "No, forget that. That wasn't even a real offer. That's not even a proper offer." Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's something that there's a joke offer. Like, it's something that you wouldn't even consider, not even think about. It's just like, it's a joke. Do you know what I mean? So obviously Eddie Hearn upped it, and I think they upped it twice. I think they're gonna. I'm guessing because he said it was in the fives. So I think they offered him 5 to 6 million. That's why I think they offered him 5.56 million. That's what the final offer was, and he turned it down.
Quid.
Huh?
You should watch the interview. There's another person who trains with Dillian White. I think he manages him as well.
Yeah.
Can't remember the guy's name. He said they offered Dillian White $5 million for the first fight and a 50-50 split in the second fight if he won at 15 million. That was what he would have got.
I think they said it was more. I think he said it was 5.5 because they said the first offer was
2, then
2,
4, then 5.
and then I think it was like 5.5, something around that margin. And the second one was 50-50 in the rematch. And Eddie Hearn said that was going to work out to be 15 million if he got 50-50 in the rematch. So I can understand where Dillian White's coming from, whereas in he wants to. When you're the B side, you're never going to be happy with the offer. Let's keep it real. When you're the B side, you're never going to be happy with the B side offer because that's because that means that you're always wanting to get more. But the point I'm trying to make is that at some point you have to put a value on the World Heavyweight Championship, and Eddie Hearn is right to a point of, do you know what? I know I'm not getting the most money. I'm the B side. I'm not going to get what I want. But I want to win a World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm going to fight anyways. And I back myself to win.
Edge, let me ask you a question. When is Eddie Hearn wrong? To you? When is Eddie Hearn ever wrong?
No, the thing is, I said he was wrong.
When?
He's not made a single fight. He's not made Brooke Can. He's not made...
Yeah, but that's not... Yeah, but you can't... Yeah, but it's not his fault though. Amir Khan has been ducking Brook since he was born. He was born. He's been ducking Brook since he was born. Amir Khan was ducking.
You can't blame the fighter.
Ed, you're very edgy. You still haven't answered my question. When is Eddie Hearn wrong? When has he ever been wrong in your eyes? When has he been wrong?
He's been wrong loads of times.
Tell me then. Let me know. So, because for your views now.
All right. Well, number one, he was wrong when he's saying AJ's got 4 belts when he's got 3. Is the IBO.
Oh, you're fucking funny. This guy.
Yeah. When he's got 3 belts. The IBO, like he's saying, oh, he's got 4 belts. No, he's 3. So Eddie Hearn, what are you talking about? Yeah. Number one. Number two. I believe. Huh?
Can I ask a question, right? So Dillian White just fought against Parker and against Chisora, right? Both of their fights made 10 million each, and Dillian White walked away with about £4 million out of their fights. Eddie Hearn is the only person. Eddie Hearn, between that pot, there's 70% of that who isn't going to the fighters, getting kept between Sky, Matchroom and expenses. Eddie Hearn is making more than Dillian White when Dillian White fights on pay-per-view. That's no right. There is no way that's right.
No. Thing is, Dillian White is happy with the money that he's earning from his pay-per-view fights. So the issue is not that. The issue is the terms of the AJ fight. Now,
exactly,
I disagree.
He knows he's just gave Eddie Hearn £5 million this year, and Eddie Hearn's offered him £5 million back to fight Joshua. So he's thinking, wait a minute, I'm making you. You might make me £2 million, but I've made you 5, and then you're offering me £5 million at a pot that's this big. Dillian White's no silly. Dillian White knows that he's made Eddie Hearn really rich this year. Like, Eddie Hearn might have gave him a few million, but he's made Eddie Hearn more than Eddie Hearn's made him. So this is time for Eddie to show him something and get him maximum value.
Yeah, but but you have to understand that everyone is assuming that this is Eddie Hearn that's making all these moves. It's not. AJ owns the show. He got a pot. He's like, okay, you do this fight with Dillian White. There's 30 million in this. Out of this 30 million, how much do you want to give Dillian White? And AJ's making that decision. He's the one that's saying, Eddie Hearn, you make the offer to Dillian White. And Eddie Hearn is like, look, I don't. He's like a broker. He's equivalent. When you're buying real estate, he's like a broker.
It's not the same.
It's a similar thing in regards to it is because AJ is the one has to agree to it's AJ's show. So if AJ goes, let's say for example with Chisora and Dillian White, this is why I think Dillian White is playing a little bit of a game because he knows how it works. The same thing happened with Dillian White versus Chisora. It was pay-per-view. He owned the show. Exactly the same thing. And Dillian White put offer to Chisora, and Chisora said no. He was so pissed off, he went to his enemy, David Haye, to help him out. That's how pissed off he was. David Haye, I hate your guts. We enemies, but I need you right here because Dillian White is trying to screw me over right now. Yeah? So Dillian White knows how the game works. He knows it. And Eddie Hearn was exactly the same boat.
It's missing the point. The point is, Dillian White, there's only 11 weeks to the fight, and you're the middleman between two people who you work for. So one of them turns around to you and says, I'm going to offer him $2 million. You should turn around. You're an advisor. You don't advise the guy to make him an offer you know is going to get rejected.
No. This is where you get it wrong. Because he did advise him. Eddie Hearn did say, look, he knows. The thing is, he's in a difficult situation. Both of them are his clients. So he's stuck in the middle. So AJ went to Eddie Hearn and goes, look, offer him 4. It's like, dude, I don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah, offer him 4, see what he says. Yeah, but look, AJ's like, I said, offer him 4. You know what I mean? And Eddie Hearn has to do it. So Eddie Hearn goes to Dillian White and goes, look, 4. Look, I know, look. And then he has to try to convince Dillian White to take the offer. Do you know what I mean? And then he's like, and Dillian White is like, no, I don't accept it. I want 6. So he goes back to AJ and goes, look, Dillian White wants 6. Yeah, like, come on, AJ, come on, please do it. Please, like, let's just try and do.
I get that.
And then AJ's like, no, 5.5.
Huh? If it's 6 months before a fight, then you can negotiate like that. But when you're 11 weeks out, put it this way, they should have had that fight tied up 4 months ago and been in a training camp with 3 months to go. No, but when you're negotiating with 3 months to go, and it's not even that, you're negotiating to a date that's already set because you've got the venue. So it's not a case of how much will you give him, he might not take that. It's a case of how much do you want, how much are you going to offer, right? You can't make a deal, we need to move on. He never done that. He sat in the middle while they were making offers with 11 weeks to go. So that's a bad promoter.
So yeah, but the thing is, this is the thing. Do you believe, this is what Dillian White thinks, yeah? Dillian White thinks that the plan for AJ to fight Gerald Miller was already pre-done already. It was already planned already because he's under pressure from the zone to deliver a big fight. And AJ is one of the biggest fighters and he was under pressure to get AJ to America. And he already knew this was going to happen anyways. Do you believe what Dillian White is saying in regards to this fight was already arranged already from the get-go? This was the plan from the start.
Nah, I don't think they would have made offers to Tyson Fury, to Wilder, or to White if they fought. I think Miller is a last resort. But Eddie Hearn, he is going to need to produce something for the zone because they've gave him a lot of money and he's not put a card on yet. He's still to put on his pay-per-view. He said he's going to do was it 14 shows or 12 normal shows and 4 pay-per-view worthy shows, and he needs to make them. He needs to make these shows. 4 of them have to be pay-per-view worthy that people would pay $100 to watch in America. That's his promise.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, because this is the thing
But
now.
Is AJ a big enough name? AJ's not a big name in America. Like, don't be fooled that AJ, like, you walk down the street. Very few boxers walk down the street in America and people know who they are. It's a sport like, I'm going to compare it to netball in Britain. That's the kind of growth it's got. It's a minimal sport. Very.
I wouldn't compare it to netball. I mean, you're going a little bit far.
I don't
netball,
know.
I don't think any, like, you know, netball. I know you're going to. I mean, it's not equivalent of netball in the States. There's people, many millions, still in the States doing boxing. So it's not as big as NFL or, you know, basketball or any of those sports. But obviously, I think it's, you know, with the right pay-per-view and the right events, when they're on live TV, they do 3-4 million, you know, on normal on terrestrial television. So let's have a look in the chat and see what they're saying in the chat. You know, where are these guys getting these figures from? I want sources. Okay, they're demanding sources from you. 11 weeks.
For what figures? I'll tell you where I got the figures for. I got them for Dillian White, and Dillian White, the person he coaches, and Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn gave the splits, didn't he?
Yeah. So that's where he said he got his figures from Dillian White and his trainers and coaches. And obviously the figures. Obviously Eddie Hearn's been saying the figures on his interviews with IFL. He goes, 11 weeks means nothing. If Dillian is worried about the timescale, why is he fighting on April the 20th? Well, he has got a point there. You know, he can't say...
Because he's got to fight somebody who's not a world champion. There's levels to this. If you're fighting somebody who's a fringe level contender, you don't need the same kind of training camp as you do to fight against a unified world champion.
So now, to be honest with you, I disagree with that then, because that means you're taking that opponent less than you would do against AJ, where really you need to be training the same for every single fight, because that fight could be your banana skin. And if you try to slip and try to cut corners because you think this is going to be an easy fight, you're going to end up being a cheeseman, and you're going to be set backwards a few steps. So I think that if you're gonna so that's why I got confused, because if you're gonna, you know, why would you not fight AJ on the 13th and then fight a week later on the 20th? But, you know, then that's a good point. That's a good point to ask Dillian White, and ask him that. Someone needs to ask him that question.
He said somebody did ask him. Somebody asked him, and they said he wants a 12 weeks, a full 12-week camp. So he wants the fight tied up within a week.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. And Curtis Jones says AJ is a duck. God, man. Well, that's all that's due to that's what we're debating right now. Is AJ a duck? This is I think, look, at first I was thinking AJ, you know, is not gonna duck. But I believe that AJ is doing a duck move. His ducky actions that he's doing right now in what he's doing in negotiations with Dillian White and deciding to fight Miller.
He can't be happy with Eddie. Like, no boxer wants their promoter out there telling everybody how much they're offering and stuff. I don't think Eddie's doing that with AJ's blessing. Like,
no, I think he is, because he's been doing it for a while. You know, and also as well in the interview, he's started the war with Shelly Finkel again. He started war with Shelly Finkel again. So I think that relationship with Shelly Finkel, whatever peace treaty that Shelly Finkel and Eddie Hearn had, is over. So you know, so I think that's not going to happen anymore. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I'm a big fan of AJ. Everyone, like, in the chats and in the group chats, know that I'm an AJ fan. However, you know, I believe, and Dillian White has got a point. I have to be fair as fair. I can't, like, you know, support AJ when certain things are a little bit fishy. But, like, at the end of the day, I think that if you are doing 60-40 in the first fight and that person wins, then it should be reversed in the second fight. Do you know what I mean? So I think that, you know, and is EJ Boxer still on?
Yeah, I'm still there, mate.
Yeah, so when you say that Eddie Hearn is doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you right now. Because when Eddie Hearn says Yeah, so when he said, because when he said, Eddie Hearn said in an interview that, oh, if you win, you get the keys to the castle. Yeah, if you beat AJ, you get the keys to the castle. But then you can't say you get the keys to the castle, but then offer 50-50 in the second fight. That's not keys to the castle to me.
No, you rewatch that interview. He didn't say, he said you could have negotiated to 50-50. There was 50-50 wasn't there in that contract Dillian White got. Dillian White said it wasn't 50-50. Eddie said it could have been 50-50. Rewatch it. Watch for the words. It could have been 50-50.
Yeah, but that's what he's been offering. There's a number of people saying that he's been doing 50-50 in the second
they just
offer.
watched that. No, they've just watched the interview and seen it wrong. It would have been. He could have negotiated to 50-50, which would have been 15 million.
Yeah, but he didn't know. But when he had an argument with Dillian White, he confirmed that it was 50-50 in the second fight, and he said that would have been that equal to 15 million. So he did not deny. He didn't say no, that's not true. He basically confirmed that would have been 15 million if you would have taken that. Do you know what I mean? And he's trying to convince Dillian White during that argument that 50-50 was good because it works out to be 15 million. But that's not the point. Do you know what I mean? That's not the point because even though because at the end of the day you can't say if you beat AJ you can get the keys to the castle and then go and say 50-50. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't make no sense to me because the incentive for me to fight AJ is that if I win in the rematch I'm going to get 60-40, which means I could get 25 million. Do you know what I mean?
That was the thing, remember? Everybody, the thing was, is beat AJ and become the A side. But beating AJ doesn't make you the A side. It just makes you equal, which a lot of people aren't going to want either. But Eddie Hearn, to come out and say, if he's already guaranteed Tyson Fury 50% if he beats Wilder, that's a stupid way to start negotiations.
Yeah, but I think that Eddie Hearn, I think this is why when I watched the argument with Eddie Hearn, that's why it kind of went cringe. And I was like, sometimes certain negotiations need to be kept quiet. Do you know what I mean? It didn't look nice. It didn't look pretty. It was on the edge. I saw it and I was cringing. I was like, I don't know about this, man. Even Cassius was like, I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean? It was just very awkward, man. I just looked at it. It was just very awkward. Do you know what I mean? And then you can see Eddie Hearn he walked off because he was like, I'll be mandatory. I'm going to be mandatory. And there's going to be no rematch clause when I'm a mandatory. So if I go and beat AJ, I'm going to make it 80-20 split. Mm-hmm. and then Eddie Hearn just went, okay, I'm off. I'm going. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought, sometimes negotiations needs to be kept quiet. And I think that Eddie Hearn, that's what he likes to talk. It's good for the fans because we can see the inside of what's going on. But sometimes if you're trying to negotiate a fight that's not been made yet and not being confirmed, it does not help you talking about it in public. Do you know what I mean?
Same with no Dillian White says he wants to fight Ortiz or Brazil, but he could have fought Brazil any time. He chose to go fight against Parker and he chose to fight Chisora. None of them were fights he had to fight. He chose to fight them. He could have fought Brazil for the WBC Mando shot any time after the Helenius fight, and he chose not to. Dillian White chose not to do that. He chose to go pay-per-view and make money, and now he's going to go fight him, or he's going to fight Ortiz, who's already been ordered to fight and refused. It's a bad look on Dillian White as well.
It is. Okay, let's look at the chat. Hey guys, there's 9 people watching. Hit that like button if you like the show so far. We're keeping it fire, talking about AJ, Dillian White, Eddie Hearn, Kovolev, Cheeseman. We're talking about everything. Let's have a look at what's happening in the chat. Yannick Hadar saying, can 10,000 UK fans follow AJ to the USA? What do you think about that? Would you think if AJ goes to the USA that he's going to bring a lot of support with him?
I don't know. I don't know what his following's like in London because I take it that's where his big following is. But yeah, I don't think he's got a city behind him. Put it this way: if Josh Warrington goes to Vegas and fights this year, Josh Warrington will take more fans than AJ takes to America.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing because he can pack out. Look, I'm thinking if he fights Miller in the USA, I think he'll bring a large contingent of fans. Whether it's 10,000 or not, I don't know, because the enthusiasm in the UK, from what I'm feeling from the social media, that the people in the UK are not too keen on Miller fight. They're not too keen. They're more keen on Dillian White. So as a result of that, I don't know if the UK fans will go out and watch him fight Miller than if it was fighting somebody else. So I think that's a good question. I don't know. It has to wait until when the fight announced before, we can see how the UK fandom is. I mean,
usually when somebody for the UK goes out to America, they're going out there to win a world title. They're going out there to fight against the best in the divisions. They're going out there to do something special. So it's a special moment. But put it this way, if AJ beats Miller in Madison Square Garden, it's not going to be an epic night. It's not going to be remembered.
Yeah, and also as well, it's in New York. And let's face it, like I was talking about this before. If it was in Vegas, I'll be more inclined to go, because you got the Vegas, you got the party clubs and all that, pool parties, and then you got boxing later. But in New York, I don't know if it's gonna be, because historically, when Ricky Hatton brung those 30,000 fans, it was in Vegas. And most of the times when the UK fly over, it's the Vegas fights when they have the big crowds. I don't know if you guys historically know any when there's been a large contingent of fans coming over to go to New York or LA.
Yeah, of course, bro. Lennox Lewis used to do it.
No, but no large contingent of fans flying from the UK over to America to watch the fights, like 10,000 people.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis used to do it when he used to fight, innit? But he wasn't Ricky Hatton. Obviously more thing right now. So, but like they would do it in it. AJ could do it in it when he's going anywhere. You'll be surprised how many people turn up because people love him, innit? And it's and Ricky Hatton used to say the same thing. It's a holiday for his fans, innit? So that's what Ricky Hatton used to do. Like Carl Froch wanted to do it, like Chavez, but it just never got organized, whatever. But yeah, people, us over here, man. Fuck it, we go support it. We got our money. It's a holiday. We go watch some boxing in another country because we know we're gonna win. You think we're gonna leave anywhere? Yeah, we think we're gonna lose.
Yeah, man. Well, you should have said that to those Ricky Hatton fans when they flew over to watch Pacquiao and Mayweather.
No, I know about that, but his records was good though. He had a good record of going abroad and winning. He only lost like 2 major fights, Pacquiao Mayweather. But other than that, his record was nice. He was going over there. Yeah, Louis Collazo, he won. That was his first one. And then he beat the Mexican guy, Castillo. He beat him. And then who else did he beat? I think he beat another guy. I'm not too sure. And then after that, like he obviously had the Mayweather fight, and that Mayweather fight was amazing, and the Pacquiao fight. So he had an all right record, and basically them 2 fights, especially as well, they were great. They were great fights. So the crowds are entertained, no doubt. So fans never thought. That's why the fans will go in it, because we feel that our guy's gonna win, innit? If we knew our guy's gonna lose, you think we're going anywhere?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, because I think the UK fans, one thing about the UK fans, they like to travel. Like in sports in general, they like to travel. I mean, you always get a large contingent of fans going out to support, and they'll make it a party atmosphere no matter where they go. You know what I mean? That's the good thing about it. So, I think they're hoping that when this fight gets announced, that they're going to be a big contingent of UK fans. The majority of the fans in the stadium is going to be UK. So I'm losing my voice. So I think that's what the plan. That's what they're hoping to do. But like when it says 10,000 fans, what Yannick was saying, I don't know if 10,000 fans will go, but we'll see. Let's have a look and see what else is in the chat. It's amazing how AJ's done more than these fighters in less fights, but he's the problem. Clearly White, Wilder and Fury are trying to a smear campaign. So what do you think? Because this is one conspiracy that they're saying as well. From a good thing, Obs. He's saying that, and this is what Eddie Hearn has said, that these guys are kind of ganging up together to try and do a smear campaign against AJ. Do you think that's the case?
Probably. There's a good chance when, put it this way, Dillian White went over to America and found out what Tyson Fury and Wilder got offered. Everybody knows everybody's offer. Everybody knows what each fight's worth. So it's holding it for maximum negotiation, that's it. Do you want to take £1 million just now or try and make 5 million in the future? That's the way they're looking at it. Wilder and Fury's tied up. They've got a money fight. They don't need to fight AJ to make money, but they will in the future. So you need to hope that offer stays on the table and you can keep winning. As soon as you lose that value.
And I think this is the problem. And this is the problem, like at the moment, because this is where everyone knows what everyone. This is why it's difficult for AJ to negotiate, because everybody knows what people's getting owed. You put offers to Wilder, you put offers to Fury, cash offers. That's a lot of money. So then everybody knows what Fury got and what Wilder got. Dillian Whyte wants the same amount. He feels that he's up there with these guys, so he wants the similar amount of money. So then if AJ offers him the same money that they offered Wilder and Fury, then Fury and Wilder are going to go back and say, wait a minute, Dillian Whyte got 10, I want 20. So that means he's going to have to offer more to those guys because he's given Dillian Whyte that kind of money. So then no matter what, AJ is stuck. Do you know what I mean? It's going to make the negotiations a lot more difficult. That's why negotiations need to be kept private.
I know that Hearn says stupid stuff like, oh, if it's a voluntary, it has a rematch in it. Well, obviously no, because Charles Martin was a voluntary, AJ was a voluntary for Charles Martin, and there was no rematch clause there, so it's no a rematch, it's when it suits you. So,
they paid to take that out. That's why Martin got a large amount of money. we all know that.
But that's what I mean. It's the same thing. You can't, when Eddie Hearn goes out and says something like that, you just turn around, he's just spouting shit. He wants to make as much money as he can. It's.
I was saying Barry Hearn does all the real negotiations, and Eddie Hearn just follows his dad. His dad still pulls the strings, and his dad the one that comes out when his dad comes out and says something. Yeah, that's the way it is. If you heard Dillian then knows that you go to Matchroom, and his dad and Eddie, and they sit down and do it. His dad's the one who still pulls the strings, and his dad's the one kind of putting things in this way. If you look at the way the fights went last night and stuff like that, the Matchroom, they kind of do things kind of corporately, bro. But excitement fights, maybe, you know what I mean? The way Cheeseman got schooled yesterday, people think to themselves, why did you even give him that opportunity? You know what I mean? Same with AJ. AJ's like, we got the investment, we got that. But, bro, you can't hold on to a boxer. A boxer's like in an hourglass, holding on to sand. It's good. Time is going down. Yeah. Each year by year, month by month. If you're gonna get beat, so what? If you get beat, bro, that's just life. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Like for AJ to stay undefeated, and that's what they're trying to do. Put things in the middle. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. But when you lose, what do you deserve? Because look, Kelbrook used to be the powerhouse. Look at him. Bellew used to be the power as him. Look at David Haye. I can keep going down the list. AJ trying to hold on to stuff. The bottom line is you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight someone. Baby, to everyone listening, thinking that should be an easy fight for AJ to go to America. But I guarantee you what, you might be surprised, bro. You might be surprised, Big Baby with them big slow overhand rights or one of them big clubbing hits knocks AJ spark out, bro. And I mean, and that's how boxing is. You know what I mean? Tim Witherspoon wasn't, he came and beat Frank Bruno, and also like what's his name? Lennox Lewis lost to Hassan Ratman. Bro, nothing in boxing is certain. That's still Sergio Kovolev, get back his belt. Most of us had him losing. All this negotiations things and this and that is put out as a distraction. That's all is a distraction. The bottom line, these guys have to fight, and that's what we came here to see. We didn't come here as accountants. We didn't come here as matchmakers, We just want to see quality fights against quality opposition, and let's get it on in it. And Eddie Hearn and Matchroom are preventing that, and that is the fact. You can say whatever, right? Wilder's willing to do this, willing to do that. Why shouldn't he get paid for doing? They're both putting their life on the line. Give them the money what they asked for. If you're trying to say he doesn't deserve that money, okay, fine. We'll go and find someone else, And if you get beat, people are gonna look at you and go, you see what happened? And that's what happens. Didn't fucking Ted Cheeseman, right? Sorry for swearing. Cheeseman was supposed to fight Fowler. This was supposed to be a preliminary for him to fight Fowler and big money fight. And look what happened there. Nothing's certain in boxing. Just saying.
Yeah, but like it does help when you get a trainer that teaches you how to box, like, properly. But the thing is, I agree. Look, anyone can get knocked out at any time. But at the same time, I think people are talking about money too much. It's getting money, and people are forgetting that actually you could be a world heavyweight champion. You could be fighting for a belt. And I think that's getting lost. I think that's getting lost here. And I think that Dillian Whyte, I'm being out there. I think that Dillian Whyte made a mistake. I think that he should have taken the money and should have taken the fight. That's what I think he should have done. And I think that, and he says, I back myself to continue winning, to get to the point where I'll be up there with AJ and Wilder and Fury. But then if you backed yourself, really, then you would have taken the money, beaten AJ, beaten him again, and then you would have been the ace. Then then you don't have to be fighting all these other fights. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I knew I'm better than AJ, and I'm confident and I back myself, I would have taken the money, beaten him, because I know that I'm going to be the man afterwards. Do you know what I mean? So you can't back yourself and then don't fight AJ and then fight Dominic Brazil. That don't make no sense.
Listen, you see, the thing is, Dillian was never supposed to be that guy. He was supposed to be there as a protector, AJ protector. But they didn't think the protector would get himself on the same status as working his way up as AJ. They never thought that would happen, but it's happened. He's put himself in a position, 3 pay-per-views against stellar, pretty good opposition, and he wants to play AJ. And the thing is, bruh, like, let's be honest, no one's giving Dillian a chance against AJ after what happened. So why don't you just give him what he asked for? Because you know he's not going to win. But Dillian, just give him the payday. Why won't he just give Dillian? And why this is the same thing will come down trying to hold on to stuff. Hold on a minute, he don't deserve that. So what do you mean he don't deserve that? He's worked his way up like AJ, and he wants his shot at the world title. He's got 2 options. He's got Wilder or he's got Fink. So what he's trying to say, you know what? I see AJ beat Brazil. I'm going to go and fight Brazil. Knock him off because he's supposed to be the next guy for Wilder. And then I'll get in my position for Wilder. And that's what he's doing. He's grafting. And I don't understand why he, especially Dillian as well, after all the things he's been going through, that he doesn't get a shot. And why won't they give him what he asked for? Give Dillian what he asked for. And let's see the fight. Like, why would you even worry about Dillian? Because he's got #1 ranking with WBC and all that stuff. And it should be making it easier that you knock off the #1 WBC ranked fighter to make a fight with Wilder. It should make it easy. But no, they're getting on silly. Well, you should only get this amount of money. Bruv, like, no one that, listen, these people, they're bad negotiators or actually awful, in my opinion. And they're going to find themselves in a bad place, but because at this point, when you're the world champion and you've got all these belts, you're going to have to fight live dogs, man. There's no easy fights out here, bro. None. No slips. No more Tackums. No more Charles Martins. None of that. You're getting hard fights. All
right, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, like, going down the line. Like I said, all opposite possibilities can still happen. Let's have a look and see what they're saying in the chat. JD saying, you beat AJ twice to become the A side. That's fair to me. What's the point of being an A side and having a rematch clause without benefits? JD saying, I prefer the Miller fight. #2 American heavyweight, US debut, testing the waters. Ayob saying, EJ is funny. Hatton lost 2 of his biggest fights overseas. He take 15K to Vegas. JD says, if AJ didn't generate more capital than the other heavyweights, I would say 50-50. Rematch clause, it's fair. But because he does, he adds more value to the rematch clause than the others do. Well, that's a fair point. Ayob says, I think just offer Fury Wilder 50-50. It's undisputed, so fair enough. And then Jay says, if AJ offers Wilder and Fury 50-50 to fight, they would most likely have to give up their mutual rematch clauses as a bargaining chip. So it comes down to this. With okay, let's put it to you. Yeah, I think AJ might know an AA boxing. Let's have a look, see what you guys' opinion. All right, you're AJ. You're waiting for the Wilder and Fury winner. Yeah, Fury beats AJ. Sorry, Fury beats Wilder. So now Fury comes out and says, I want to fight AJ next. You start negotiations. Fury says, I want 50-50. Would you give him 50-50, yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah, you
Why?
need to,
Why?
because he's got the thing you need. He's got the other belt to make you undisputed, and at the end of the day, he never lost his belts in the ring, so he's going to claim that. He's going to claim that he's just beat a world champion. It's basically Eddie Hearn's already guaranteed it, that's it. You can't go back on your word now, or you look stupid.
We know that Eddie Hearn can go back on his word if he wants to.
Look at this guy. Look, man.
It's true, isn't it? Hey, you said Eddie Hearn can go back on his word. He can do. He can.
No, but if Izzy will make the fight, then it'll be him stopping the fight. If he turns around and says, I'll offer Tyson Fury 50% if he beats AJ, if he beats Wilder, and Tyson Fury beats Wilder, and then Eddie Hearn offers him 28%, the fight's not going to get made unless he offers him 50%. He needs to guarantee him 50%.
All right, so then let's based on what you said, if Wilder goes and beats Fury and comes to you and says, I want 50-50, would you give him 50-50?
I don't know.
EJ, what do you think?
What was it? Say that again?
I said if Wilder wins and beats Fury and comes to you and says, I want 50-50, would you give it to him?
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
EJ, man, he's too generous, man. EJ's too generous. EJ's too generous, man.
That's why I give it, right? Because look, anything can happen. They put their life on the line. They're going to generate more money. Like the thing is, you got to understand. Let me put this right away. Right, you're in a time of boxing where boxing is not the number one sport in the world. It's just not the number one, and you have an opportunity to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, where it means something in a sport where you have the NFL happening today, the Super Bowl, you have the NBA playoffs, you have the World Cup sometimes, you have all the football over here we have in the UK, and all them other sports are above us, right? And these guys are haggling, about things. All you need to do. Put money, put together, fight, you'll get more money. It's not about like trying to hold on to stuff. It's like, it doesn't matter who won or lose. It's just that end of the day, people are going to remember you for putting on good fights. I don't understand you. Like when I look back at Roy Jones and all these guys were great. I remember when they were great. Also remember when they were getting banged over, right? And that's how it's going to be with these guys. Their time is going. If it's you're trying to hold on to something that time is going by. And other guys are coming up. You got Kaneki, you got Phil Hovovich coming through, right? You got what's his name again, Tony Yoka coming through, right? The division is always in flux because boxing is a young man's sport. AJ was young one time, and now he's gonna be the old champ. This is what I'm trying to say. Trying to say this guy don't deserve that. Okay, when man like Dillian is like, okay, let me do that grafting and fight this guy, that guy, to put himself in position. They say, well, you don't deserve that much. When did that become the case? Because then they say let's say Eddie Hearn, Joshua loses. Then who has he got to fall back on? That's all this is about. Worrying about who to remember. Eddie Hearn and Kell Brook was the number one guy. That's all this is about. It's about insecurity, right? And insecurity and trying to hold on something you can't hold on to. Let them fight. Let the boxing world see them fight. And that's what Wilder and Fury did. They let the whole world see what the heavyweight division is about. Intrigue. This guy got knocked down. You think that guy won on point? The count was fast. The battle of the long couch. Do you remember how many bloody newspapers were filling the newspapers? It didn't matter about the result. It was just the fact that people were talking about the sport. And what's happening now, I know we're talking about the sport, but they need to fight. I don't care about the split. When you ask me about 50-50, I say, yeah, give them the money. Because I don't care. I just want them to fight so we can make money off all the fucking intrigue and the talk, all the curve points. But all this stuff is bullshit. It just really is bullshit. Why are they not fighting? Big Baby Miller, that's why Big Baby Miller calling people's moms. He's like, why are they fighting me? I want to fight him. Fight him. If you believe you're the best, then fight him. Give him what he wants and let's go. Give him what he wants and let's go.
Okay. Okay, AJ, you're talking from a fan point of view, yeah? Getting 50-50. I'm talking about you. It's taking money from you.
Why are you, Edge? Why are you, Edge?
No, I'm asking from a point. No, because
you're not a fan. Are you not a fan?
No.
You sound like you're a boo. I'm not a fan. I want to hear what you are, nigga.
Let me finish.
I know. Edge, what are you if you're not a fan?
No, EJ, let me finish what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Let me finish what he was gonna say.
I said like you're above me or something like you're just a fan. I'm
well,
like,
let me finish what I was gonna say, and then you can come back. Get it? Like what? EJ's on it tonight. EJ's on it tonight. Hey, do you know what? I was saying that you're speaking from a fan's point of view. As fans ourselves, we don't care about the 50-50 split or whatever. We just want the fight to happen. Like, if AJ gets 10% or 5% or 1%, I don't care. It's not going in my pocket. I just want to see the fight happen. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is that from AJ's position, do you understand from AJ's position, if, like, from a point of view from Fury, look, let's keep it real. If I'm AJ issues right now, and I'm saying, okay, then Fury's saying 50-50, I used to be the belt. I used to have the belts. I used to win. But then when you look at it like this, Aobs has got a point. He's saying, let's get something straight. You vacated the belt you lost the belt because you had some issues and you was on drugs for a couple of years and came back. It's not my fault. I happened to clean up the belts while you was off. So I don't see why I should be punished and having 50-50 because you decided to vacate and decided to go on a binge for 2 years and come back.
They gave 50-50 to Klitschko, the guy who Tyson Fury dethroned.
Yes.
That's another thing. The whole thing is he done 50-50 with Klitschko, and you got to remember AJ won his world title fighting inside the O2, and he defended it twice at the O2. He never made a stadium fight until he fought Klitschko.
Yep.
Yeah.
He built that stadium fight off of Klitschko.
Yeah.
And the only reason he got to fight Klitschko is because Tyson Fury had already beat him.
Yeah.
So that's Fury's argument is, so what? You made your name and built yourself off the back of a guy who I already beat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got to remember this, and a lot of people, you can go look back at. He fought in America. Tyson Fury fought in America when he had Stewart in his corner, right? Can't remember the guy he fought. See, after that fight, if you find an interview, Tyson Fury speaks about the lineal title. The only title he wants to hold is the lineal title. People were like, it's an imaginary title. It's a real title. When Klitschko got beat, he lost the lineal title.
That's right.
That's what counts. It's if people turn around and say, so Shannon Briggs was never the lineal champion, but he was. A lineal title is a lineal title. It's been about, you can't discredit it because Tyson Fury done drugs or he did this.
No. The thing is, look, we've already been through this. Tyson Fury was never the lineal champion. Klitschko was never the lineal. Klitschko was never the lineal. I mean, who announced him lineal?
He was when
Who made
Klitschko
him a
had it.
lineal champion? Who made Klitschko a lineal champion?
You made him really lineal because after that he beat all the names to the claimants, so the sports writers.
Yeah,
No, hold on 1 minute. You asked the question. The reason why that happens is because the sports writers at the time, they realized there's no other guy and he's claiming he's the best and he's beating all the best. So therefore, he becomes the lineal. That's how that works. If you look at, I don't know if you know how it works. Yeah, the last lineal champion was Jack Tunney. Gene Tunney, right? Gene Tunney, right, beat Jack Dempsey. Jack Dempsey beat Jeff Willard. Jeff Willard beat Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson lost to what's his name again? John J. Jeffries, right? And the lineal champion at the time was in flux, right? And there's a lot of champions who were winning all the time. But one guy came along and cleaned that up, and that was Joe Louis, and he reigned for 10 years. Same thing as Klitschko, right? And after that, they had to recognize him, and same thing as Klitschko as the lineal champion. So Klitschko earned the right to become the lineal champion. He was the lineal champion.
No,
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
you can say he earned it. You can say
he earned the right. Yeah, he earned the right after the 10 years of dominance he did, and that's why he became the lineal champion. When Tyson Fury beat him, he took that claim of the lineal champion, all the belts that Klitschko had, and that's the way it is. And what I'm trying to say to you is all that other stuff about this guy don't deserve that, it doesn't matter, because listen to this, right? How many people, if gave Tyson Fury a chance against Wilder? Not many. How many people gave him a chance to get Klitschko? Not many. And how many, if he fights AJ tomorrow, how many people are going to give him a chance? They're not. But it doesn't matter about it because they're going to have to fight the fights. It's not what you earn, it's what you negotiate. And when it comes down to the table, this guy are running from the negotiation table and they're trying to minimize it. And I'll be honest with you, Vladimir Klitschko and his brother Vitaly used to do the same thing. When Derek Shura came out there, they made sure you got the minimum money, barely $1 million. Barely $1 million. They did the same thing, right? They're doing the same thing what the Klitschko's did. And that's what Eddie Hearn's doing. What they're doing is that they're minimizing other fighters, yeah? And trying to make them squirm and trying to make you don't over them. That's why Wilder and Fury get all the credit because they had enough of your fuck shit. We're going to fight 50-50 and we're going to put on a show. And that's what they did. And when they go and do it again, it's going to be another show. And they're showing AJ and them people, we don't need you. And this is why all the backlash is coming AJ. Because all AJ had to do is fight one of them. And he didn't want to do it, and this is what's happened. And there's but you
have to keep it real, man. Let's keep it real. Let's not say we have to fight both of them because at the end of the day, Tyson Fury is coming off 2 years of binging, and he was fighting two nobodies. And you wanted AJ to fight him. Let's not pretend nobody thought that Fury was going to fight Wilder.
Edge, that should make it easier for him to beat him in it because Wilder did the same thing. Wilder goes, I'll give you a couple. Wilder fought. They thought Klitschko. They thought Fury going to be easy to beat. That's what they thought when they turned up. Oh, he's still around. Oh, yeah. And he was out with Wilder. So what I'm saying to you is this, right? I give AJ. I give Edge AJ against both of them, right? I'm telling you right now, Edge AJ against both of them. But he needs to fight the fights, and we don't care how. I don't care how it's get done. That's why I said I don't care 50-50. If you said to me 60-40, all right, and that was it, I would agree to that. I don't care how it needs to get done. It needs to get done now. What they're doing, they're prolonging the sport, right? And right now, these guys are kind of undefeated. All three of them, they got draws. They're still undefeated. These guys are the premier heavyweights in the world. Don't care how it needs to get done. It needs to get done soon, right? Because if you get fight like it will end up like Pacquiao Mayweather when they're over the hill and it was a terrible fight. It needs to happen, and that's what we can agree on.
One thing to mention in the chat, he's made a good point. He says Wilder Fury wasn't 50-50. It wasn't 50. Yeah, the first fight wasn't a 50-50 fight. So it was 60.
Because you said it doesn't mean that fact. It was 50. I heard it was 50-50.
No, it wasn't 50-50.
Nah, 53 to 47.
Well, that's not much. That's not much of it. That's not much of it.
It's near enough.
No, yeah, I think it was 53-47. It's like 56. I think it was 40. 55,
but that's not much.
Anyways. That's all here.
Here's another thing, Edge. Right. So Tyson Fury fights against Wilder, and they do 500,000 pay-per-view buys on Showtime, right?
Yeah.
And then Anthony Joshua comes out and offers Wilder. Say Wilder wins, right? He comes out and offers Wilder a 60-40 split or a 50-50 split, but he needs to fight on DAZN and it needs to be on Sky, right? So now Wilder's going to refuse. He's just made a 50 million pay-per-view fight, and he has to go and fight on a platform where the fight will only be guaranteed to make that much money. So now he's fucked. You see?
No. That's where you're wrong, because the whole point of the DAZN is that they will offer what they think that the pay-per-view is going to be and pay accordingly. That's the same thing what's happened with Jacobs. Jacobs has been paying. I think he's getting paid 15 million for this fight. I think he's been paying 12 to 15 million to fight Canelo, because they're paying him based on how much it would have done if it was on pay-per-view. So with Deontay Wilder, they would have done the same. They would have paid him how much they would have think, and I think they offered him this, and basically they would have put an offer of 28 million, because it's not 28 million. It's not factual based on what Deontay Wilder earned.
No, you're missing the point. Missing the point. The point. No, that the point is, if Wilder goes out there and does a 500,000 pay-per-view buys in America, all that does is drive up the value. What he needs, what a 50-50 split costs AJ. The fight's going to make the same. AJ is going to fight Wilder at Wembley, and it's going to be on DAZN, and it's going to be on that. But the fact that see if he hadn't fought Tyson Fury in a rematch and it wasn't a Showtime fight, and he just fought on a PBZ card against Brazil, when AJ makes that offer, he can offer a lot less money. But no, Wilder's going to have nearly $1 million paper. Say he does 600,000. That's nearly $1 million pay-per-view buys, which is more money, is more pay-per-view buys than AJ's done altogether, probably. Altogether, £100 million worth. It's a lot of money. It drives up the value of that fight. So if they have another rematch and keep doing 500,000 pay-per-view buys, all that means is that DAZN need to guarantee all that extra money, and it's not only that, they have to guarantee it, and Wilder's going to take half it straight away.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point what Eddie Hearn was saying in the first place. But that's ifs, like, you know, Aobs is saying, but it's buts and maybes. But that's true, because historically with American pay-per-views, the second pay-per-view normally does less than the first one, historically, than the rematches. So you have to rely on this pay-per-view historically beating the trend of doing better than the first one for him to have a better negotiation power, which historically is normally less. So that's a gamble. That's the gamble you've got.
Even if that does 300,000 pay-per-view buys, even if that only does 300,000 pay-per-view buys, that's the equivalent to $1 million in Britain.
No, but that's terrible numbers, though. That's not good numbers. If you want to have negotiation power and to negotiate to go in your favor, you have to do more than 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Like, you're comparing it to, let's say, you know, Canelo does over $1 million. Mayweather was doing over $1 million. Pacquiao at his peak was doing 900,000 to $1 million. And if you got Deontay Wilder doing 300,000, you can't come to the table and say, "Oh, I'm the A side now with that amount of numbers."
You can when AJ's only doing 1.1 million in Britain.
Yeah, but he's generating more money overall for the whole fight. He's generating more money. Do you know what I mean? Deontay Wilder is not generating. He can generate that kind of money fighting Takam. He can generate that fight in Takam. If Deontay Wilder goes and fights Dominic Brazil right now, he's not going to generate that kind of money. He's going to.
Oh no,
he's going to
that's what I'm
struggle.
saying. But
He's
the fact that Wilder's having a pay-per-view fight again means that Eddie Hearn needs to guarantee pay-per-view money for America, where that would have just have been an international TV rights. So what would have happened is they would have sold that fight to Showtime for maybe $1 million, and Showtime would have showed that for free because it was a fight in Britain. But he needs to now guarantee American pay-per-view money on top of that.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the zone. That's the whole point of the $1 billion deal of the zone. That's the whole plan. That's the whole point. If it goes onto the zone, that fight will be on the zone, and the zone money is gonna go into Wilder's pocket, and that's the whole point of it.
But
And
can
that
he
was
use
the
that?
plan. Eddie Hearn already said that already.
Fights,
Huh?
Would that DAZN card? Would that not need to be one of the 14 shows that he's doing in America, or one of the 4 pay-per-view? They can't put it on a pay-per-view show at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, but it's a guaranteed 2-way rematch clause, so it will be in America anyway. So it'll be in the zone in the UK. It'll be in the zone in America, and you'll use some of that DAZN money for that payment. So it will be used. But the fact is the situation is that Eddie Hearn is under pressure from the networks because he's and also with Sky as well, because he had a little bit of a clash with I forgot now, what's his name, the guy from Sky, about certain fights, because he wanted AJ. He thought the AJ fight was going to be in the UK, but now it's going to end up going into the States, and it's going to be late at night. It's going to be pay-per-view. That fight is going to be pay-per-view, even though it's going to be a late night fight. And he's not happy about that because historically, pay-per-views is not going to sell as much when it's going to be a 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning fight. And he doesn't want that fight, AJ fights, to be free anymore. So Eddie Hearn has got a problem. He's got DAZN to look after, and he's got Sky to look after, and he has to split the fights between DAZN and Sky and make sure he doesn't prioritize one network over the other. So it's a big issue for Eddie Hearn, and he has to figure it out. You can see he's sweating every time he's in interviews now, thinking, "How am I going to sort this all out?"
Who's
a good problem to have, but huh?
He's only got Dillian White who can be pay-per-view though. He's not going to have Amir Khan's away. Kell Brook's not going to fight pay-per-view. He's got nobody. He's got nobody who can fight pay-per-view. There's not a pay-per-view star in Matchroom apart from Dillian White. Nobody else is willing to step up. Who you couldn't hold it, and you couldn't do it anywhere, and there's no names. Maybe
MA Khan, Kell Brook will be pay-per-view.
You know what,
That's not going to come up. Callum Smith, Callum Smith could fight at Anfield, I suppose.
You got to do something with Callum, because Callum's just sitting on them belts. So Callum's the World Series, so
he's gonna fight somebody. I don't know if it's gonna be
Triple
G.
But I'm trying to say, like, he's gonna have to, if he fights another champion and beats another champion, he might do something in that division. But Eddie Hearn's sitting on AJ, still the #1 guy. But like I said to you, boxing is moving way. That's Callum, the next guy, but Callum needs to fight somebody who at least got 2 arms anyway. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest with you, it's been a while since he's fought. So he's fighting in Liverpool, definitely. I mean, who is he going to fight? I don't know. But he did say there's going to be some announcements coming in the next week. So we might have Dillian White announcement this week. We're going to have AJ's fight with Miller is going to be announced this week. I think so. I think it's done. I think the Miller fight is already done. He's not confirmed it. But you heard that leaked phone call. AJ thinks it's going to be Miller. So that's why I think it's going to be.
But hold on. But you said AJ pulls the strings. How can AJ think it's going to be Miller? Shouldn't he know? That's what I'm saying.
Look, I mean, it's not officially confirmed.
But what I'm trying to say, if AJ doesn't know, why that? No, 1 minute. If AJ doesn't know, but then that means he's not pulling the strings. Then who is? The requirement is Barry Hearn. It goes back to Barry Hearn. They're making
Barry Hearn already had an interview already. He had an interview. Barry Hearn had an interview yesterday.
Yeah, Barry Hearn is not going to say anything out there. He's not going to do that.
Can I just say something? Can anybody remember when Deontay Wilder came out and says, "Oh, I got a contract and it had Eddie Hearn's signature on it and it had no signature for AJ," and Eddie Hearn says, "I can sign stuff for AJ. I make the decisions." That was.
No. Yeah, he didn't say that.
He can
No.
I remember that. That's what he said.
No. He didn't say that. Yeah.
Does he say that?
No. He's the executor. He's the executor of the. No. He didn't say he decides to do stuff for thing. He signs the contract because he's signed under Matchroom, and he signs the contracts. But but he's not. But AJ makes the decisions. Let's keep it real here. We understand that.
No, I'm not saying that, but Eddie Hearn, you're making it out like AJ tells Eddie Hearn what to do, and
He does. No, he doesn't. He does.
No, he doesn't.
AJ has a contract with. So why has AJ got a contract with Matchroom? AJ works for Matchroom.
Yes.
He's got a contract to Sky.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, 5 fights for so many million. He's contracted to Sky. He can't turn around to Sky and say, "All right, I'll fight number 35 in the world." Sky will turn around and say, "No, you'll fight who we tell you."
Yeah.
No. That's not true. Because if that was true, then Amir Khan will fight Kell Brook right now, and if that's the case, then AJ will be fighting Dillian White because Sky is not happy because Sky they booked a venue. They booked a venue for April the 13th. So if you're telling me that it was Miller all along, then why did they book a venue for April the 13th? The Sky wants fights in the UK. They don't care about the States. Why does Sky don't care about the States?
Yeah, this is a venue.
Sky don't care about the States. So why they all of a sudden want them to go to the States for? They charge £20 for pay-per-view for 3 o'clock in the morning. They're not going to make no money on that.
Anyone could be in the venue. They could fill it with another name in it. That's what you could do. But what he's saying is that Amir Khan is with Al Heyman. Al Heyman is the guy who decides whatever. What we're saying
Amir Khan is with Matchroom.
He's with Al Heyman.
That's management.
Yeah, that's what
promoter.
That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about management. The guy who makes the decisions. And the one who makes decisions, and what we're saying is
Barry Hearn is not a manager for AJ.
No, Barry Hearn is
not AJ's manager.
Who's AJ's manager?
I don't know, some guy. I know who he is, but it's some guy. He's a bench manager. No, he's not a manager. It's a promotion. Promotion and managers, two different things.
All right, well, you can't answer the question, so I'll do it for you. It's Barry Hearn. I'm telling you, it's Barry Hearn. Obviously, it is.
It's not AJ's manager.
Who's his manager then?
I know who it is. I know who it is. I don't know. I'll bring up to me to find the name. I can find the name now.
So who's making the decisions for him? Because you need a manager.
He makes the decisions.
Yes.
AJ makes the decisions.
Yes, Edge. All right.
He makes the decisions. Barry Hearn is the promotion. He's the promoter. But because end of the day, if it was down to them, he would be fighting Dillian White right now in the UK. That was the plan. They booked the venue. That was the plan. But then Dillian White wanted too much money.
No, it's not. They don't control Dillian White. If you only control one person in a negotiation, then you can't control negotiations. You can control our negotiations for AJ all you want, but if Tyson Fury, Wilder, or Dillian White don't do the deal, then it doesn't matter if you control.
Okay, then. So based on your theory, tell me why did Khan and Brook not happen?
Because Khan and Brook couldn't agree on the deal. Basically.
Yeah, but they're under her, so they can make it happen, right? Hey, I'm managing both of you. I want this fight to happen. Let's make it happen.
Confusing something else. No, Amir Khan didn't have a contract direct to Sky that paid him so much money in advance for so many fights. He had a free fight deal. The same with Brook. They don't have exclusive deals with Sky Sports, which means they can't fight anywhere. But that defeats your logic, because if you also had a contract with Sky Sports, you wouldn't be going and fighting on DAZN. As you can see in the box, Rich, right? They haven't registered the managers, and every other people all of Matchroom's fighters, every one of them, they have not registered none of their managing. That's what I'm looking at. And most boxers I've seen, you see their manager on BoxRec, and what it is, they're not registered. None of their fighters are registered as have managers. So, but you need a manager in the British Force states that you need the manager. You know what I mean? You have to have a manager. Matchroom, one of the Matchroom guys is the fucking the manager. I'm trying to tell you, they're the one who called the decision. That's what it is. Because they've got a Matchroom here. I'm looking at the matchmaker.
Yeah, say look, Freddie Cunningham.
Right, Amir Khan's fighting against Crawford, right? That fight's got to be in America. The international TV rights for that could appear on Box Nation or could appear on BT, because Amir Khan hasn't got a contract directly to Sky. He's just got a deal with Matchroom to promote his fights. It's a total different thing for what AJ's got. AJ's got a contract direct with Sky Sports. He has to fight on Sky Sports. Amir Khan could go fight in America and fight anywhere, and as you've already proved, AJ couldn't go to America and fight on BT, but Amir Khan can. That's a total different thing. That means
Yeah, but no, but what you're saying is that. But the whole point of this whole conversation is you're saying that they
you
decide
just
who
said to me,
AJ
how can they
fights.
no make no,
So-
no, but I'm answering your question. That's why they can't make Amir Khan versus Kell Brook, because they don't control any of their fighters' rights. They can't make their fighters do a fight, but they can turn around AJ and say, AJ, you're fighting this guy on this date.
Okay, then
And-
so based on your theory, who does Sky want Anthony Joshua to fight?
Wilder,
Dillian White in Wembley or Gerald Miller in the States?
of course, they want to fight in the UK. More money for them.
Exactly. So then, if they wanted it, why is it not happening then? If they control who AJ fights,
Because they still have to guarantee AJ £20 million a fight.
so
They-
yeah, exactly. So if they guarantee AJ, what's the most? Where is he most likely to make that money? In Wembley or in the States?
He's only going to make it in the States of his own fight, but they can't offer Dillian White more money than what's in the pot. If they have to guarantee AJ £20 million, there's only so much left that you can get to the other fighter, and it's just been proved with Dillian White making £2 million off a fight that grossed $10 million, and he was A-side. Sky are keeping a lot of money out of these fights, so if they have to guarantee $20 million to AJ and $5 million to White, they need to guarantee. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. So let's have a look
So
in the chat
problem.
quickly. It's saying A-Obs is saying Khan and AJ are separate management. A-Obs is saying relax, lads. Hey man, we're cool, man. We talk about this. We chat all the time. We talk about this all the time. So we're cool. JD says AJ has his own management company called AJ Boxing, led by Freddie Cunningham, but
That's
it's
it.
controlled by him.
It's a Freddie Cunningham, the guy. I'm sure he's a wee white guy, and he's quite camp.
Hey, it don't matter what colour he is. The fact
No,
is
I'm
that
sure
it's
that's
AJ's manager. That's AJ's manager. Yeah.
He's pals with Graham Norton. That's why he's on the Graham Norton show quite a lot.
Hey, enough about that. Yeah. The fact is, he's AJ's manager, and that is anyways, you wanna get my show banned like for these kind of comments. But yeah, it's AJ's manager. And he says Boatsi and Okole are signed to AJ Boxing Management. So yeah, so AJ has his own management. He's not managed by Barry Hearn. He's got his own management company. He's Freddie Cunningham, his own manager.
Oh yeah, he manages fighters. I'm saying, who manages him? Who manages him? You
Freddie
still haven't
Cunningham. Freddie Cunningham is the manager.
Who is
Can I
that?
just say something for a minute? By the way, Matt
Freddie
Ramona
Cunningham is
in
his
AJ
manager.
Boxing.
Who is that? Who is that?
Freddie Cunningham is his manager. He's a managing
It's his
director
mate.
of AJ
It's his
Boxing
pal for
Management.
school. AJ, it's his mate for school. I'm sure it's an old mate for school who he claims to be
Probably.
his manager.
Probably.
If you look at AJ Boxing, I'm sure Matt Ramon and 25% of that as well.
AJ Boxing. Okay, let's have a look. Hello, guys. Oh, sorry about that. My computer crashed on me when I was in the middle of having that conversation. So, yeah, it kind of messed up my whole thing. I had to restart it again. So I was wondering when people was wondering where I'm at. Hold on a second. I have to kind of bring people back in again into the chat so we can start it again. God, I need to get another computer. This thing's pissed me off. Pissed me right off. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can bring people back onto the chat. Let's have a look. Okay, one moment. All right. All right, so yes, I'm back on again. Oh God, yeah, that was I've had some problems with this computer. You couldn't see my screen, my monitor wasn't working, my camera wasn't working, the computer wasn't working. So now it's all working now, so it's all good. So now we're back to business. So anyways, if no one doesn't come back on, then I'm just gonna close the show Hey, so if you're liking the show up until it cut off, then hit that like button. If it's the first time you're watching the show, hit that subscribe button. You know, EdgeNote50 TV on the regular. If you're not on my social media, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. That's where all my social media is at. So yeah, if you haven't watched it from the beginning, we was talking about Kovolev's big win, Cheeseman. We was talking about Eddie Hearn. We're talking about Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury rematch. Talking about all the boxing that's been happening, news that's been happening this week. Tomorrow I'll probably do another show where I'll go into a little bit more detail about what's going on with Dillian White. Also as well, I'm going to do another show about the referees. And also let me know about scheduling as well, because I might even do boxing schedules for the next month or so, over the next few months. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hit that like button when you go and watch the show and listen to the show. I'm going to read out a couple of the comments before I go. Yep, it goes, yep, I already read that one. JD, it shows buffering, Edge notes. Ob saying, forgot to pay the internet bill. No, nothing to do with the internet. It's just my computer. It crashed. I've been having issues with this computer for a while. I'm going to get a new one soon. Yeah, so I'm switching things up. As you can see, got my new EdgeNote50 banner behind me. So that's all good. I'm investing in all this stuff. So, you know, you're going to see lots of improvements going forward. So, you know, but yeah, anyways, I'm going to go. It looks like Boxing and EJ are not coming back on. So I'm going to leave it like this. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Remember, subscribe to my channel if you're new to the channel. Hit that like button if you like the show. And also, if you haven't watched it, watch it from the beginning. And hit that notification button, because I'll be doing more shows during the week as well. So probably between 8 and 10 o'clock. So, but you'll get notifications and you'll be on my social media every time I do some shows. So I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, guys. And anything else you want me to talk about, just leave it in the comments. And then I'll start talking about it.